You said it wrong.
Well, you're wrong.
I am not wrong. I'm looking at my clock, and as the host, the only clock that matters is my clock.
I'm looking at my clock.
But here's the thing, Katie. Here's the thing. The show is being hosted from CST. Therefore, the CST time zone, which is also 2/3 of this call right now, is the time zone.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is Will joining us?
Did I put Will in there?
You put Will second.
Huh.
That's why I ask.
You gave yourself away.
I completely forgot.
No one did that, but you.
No, I did that myself. Completely
Yeah,
forgot.
well, I'm first always because ladies first.
Do you want me to add him to the episode thing featuring Will Gray?
No, you don't need to.
Okay.
He's not really like. At this point, Will's not really a guest anymore, which is why I'm like, because remember I said I wanted to bring the guests on unless one of you guys was gone for pay-per-view shit.
Mm-hmm.
Justin, Will, Reek, and or TC, but not together. I don't consider guests separately. Reek and TC together, that is a guest episode. And as we've discussed, that is an episode Vince will not allow to be a part of when we do Double Stuffed Oreo 2.0 because...
Listen.
It's fine. When are you planning on doing that episode?
I have no idea. We haven't.
Can I pick the Saturday that I'm gonna? Can you just pick a Saturday I'm gonna be off?
Anyway,
I mean, you can let me know and I can try and make it work. I don't know if you say, "Hey, I need this Saturday," and they'll be like, "Yeah, okay, cool, yeah, that'll work." But yeah, no, if you give me a Saturday enough lead time, I can bring it up to them and be like, "Yeah,
that's what I meant."
Yeah.
No, well, you also got to make sure it's a weekend. I mean, I'm rare, but make sure it's a weekend I can actually do.
Sure. April weekend it won't be. It won't be WrestleMania weekend because we're not going to have a show that weekend.
And
like I'm debating on like
that weekend, the weekend of my sister's wedding, because I won't be here.
I'm debating on like doing a Tuesday night show.
I won't be on any show that week.
Yeah,
realistically, I would be home by midnight Tuesday night after WrestleMania.
Yeah. So.
Well, because I plan on driving back home Tuesday in the afternoon. So.
We'll see how good WrestleMania is and how bad I really want to talk about it.
Paramore for WrestleMania, please. That's all I want.
Grammy Award-winning Paramore.
Hayley Williams is a goddess.
Mind you, it also depends on if Will's phone died again. Because I sent him the tweet like half an hour ago and he still hasn't seen it. And I shot him a text and I haven't heard from him. But as of earlier today, when we discussed it, I'm free. I should be home well before 11. And that was at like 4:10.
Maybe he's out there living the gimmick and smacking it raw before he hops on.
He could be smacking it raw before he hops on.
It's the only way to do it.
Good for Allison.
She's the winner in this.
Well, I hear Will looks like Drake from the waist down. So.
Wait, what?
I said I hear Will looks like Drake from the waist down.
I have not seen that video, so I don't know how well endowed.
I have.
Not surprised.
I didn't go looking for it. It showed up.
Sure.
Listen, everyone was talking about it, and then I just refreshed the page, and I was like, oh, okay. Here it is. Surprise.
Whatever. My timeline was cleaned from that.
Mine was not.
No, I heard everyone talking about it. I didn't see it. And then I went on TikTok and I saw this chick. She's like, the double standard in relationships where all these women who have in their profiles, happily married mother, blah, 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 who are talking about they can't wait for Drake to come to town so they can sit on it and blah, 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 and all this shit. You know damn well if your man who had happily married father of two was online talking about how tight it looked and how bad he couldn't wait to hit it when it got to town, you would be raising hell.
Facts. Straight facts.
There's a lot of double standards.
Mm-hmm.
There are.
Yeah. Where's Jesus? I have not seen Jesus on the stream in a while.
He doesn't love us anymore. Hi, Devin. What's going on?
I haven't. No, I forgot this is my job.
Throwing them up. Devin showed up in the chat. Got to throw one up. Jesus. You know what? I think this was the first Saturday in like months, maybe, where I was actually just home. I was able to wind down, not have to worry about anything. Maybe catch or like rewatch some stuff that I wanted to from the week of wrestling and just kind of like set up for the show and just kind of like chill. Because usually, like I feel like I'm always doing something the day of.
I was like actually out and about and shit today.
Listen, Devin, I love you. I do. Again, not gonna fucking happen. Roman almost got lucky. He almost got out of it. He almost got a match with The Rock, which he would have won.
Well,
would have done his thing, but he's not beating Cody 2 years in a row. It's not gonna happen.
If it does,
Roman wins again, Philly will burn that stadium to the fucking ground. And I will be sitting there in the ashes.
The only way I would have been okay with Roman retaining his title at WrestleMania was if, in fact, he had to wrestle Rock for the title. I don't want to see Rock win that title, and then they could obviously have Rock lose to Roman. Roman holds on to it till September, breaks the Hogan record because it's now officially the WWE title. All the lineage got like merged together, so it's no longer the WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion. It's just the WWE Championship now.
I mean, the Rock's tried to make a lot of things happen at WrestleManias against guys who have won back-to-back Royal Rumbles and hasn't had much luck. So we'll see how that goes.
That's crazy.
I will say I listened to Young Kings this week, and I was like, I see some points you're making, Maxie. I know you're overzealous about this whole Cody thing, but you need to chill.
She's excited.
Goldust won't let it happen. Maxie, down you go. But the points that they were making about how, like, oh, everybody was complaining about Rock, Cena, or whatever back in the day, and then it was like, oh, that was the plan. Everybody enjoyed it at the end. I'm like, I never once enjoyed either the Rock versus Cena matches,
especially the one where he stole the main event from CM Punk.
That's the main one. That because my whole thing was like, what was the fucking point of doing once in a lifetime, and then have Cena lose? Just so that later on, Rock can take the title off of Punk. Because Rock wanted to work a heel, they had to turn Punk heel, or he had to drop the title if he wanted to stay face. So it was a lose-lose situation for Punk. And then he did the match with Cena. Rock gets injured halfway through that match, or at the very beginning of the match, and then it wasn't as good as the first match. Like, as great as I thought Punk versus Taker was, I think Punk should have been in that match with John Cena and The Rock, and should have been a triple threat. John could have still won the title. Heck, Punk could have been the one to get pinned, but I thought Punk deserved to be in that main event.
I agree.
And I also disagree with TC and Reek's statement that the plan was always going to be Daniel Bryan and that triple threat. No, they pivoted hard, and they took a while to pivot there. But they did at some point decide to pivot. But it wasn't the plan from the jump.
Here's the thing, and I'm going to talk more about it when we get in there. I don't care what the plan was. I just want to enjoy it. And again, I would not have enjoyed the press conference so much and SmackDown as much if I hadn't been disappointed by the previous SmackDown.
Sure.
No,
Like-
I would have preferred no Raw conclusion on SmackDown last week and get the presser that has this.
Okay, but if you get the presser and you already know it's going to be Punk versus Cody, right? Or Cody versus Roman, then that whole thing where they drop the line about royal families and Cody comes out and he says, "No, fuck this. I'm not going to be disrespected. I choose Roman." That whole thing, like, there was a high there because the low was so low when he came out and just said, "I took some counsel and I'll come for you, just not at WrestleMania."
There's just one
and then
minor
stepped aside.
Fair point, and I agree with what you're saying. I just I just have been all rocked out for about a decade now, and that's just kind of how it's been. Maybe is this a personal bias? Yeah. Of course it is. I just kind of just like feel a certain type of way. Am I a player hater for The Rock? Probably. Just a touch smidge.
All right. Will should be coming any minute. So we'll run the intro and get started.
You have tabs on when Will ejaculates?
Yeah.
Shit. Okay. Intro then?
Intro.
No, I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to Smack It Raw.
Following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the host are not necessarily those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 wrestling podcast on places where you can find people having sex on the internet. The Smackin It Raw podcast. I am your host, the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden Matt Ritter, and I am here with my co-hosts. She is host of the She Lead Showcase, Inside the Mind of In the Crowd, and Story Time with the Goddess of Guap. Goddess of the Gangland.
No. No.
Cater Top.
No. That one I like.
Miss Katie Kinsey, baby.
I was like, how long are we going? Let's go. Hi. Hello. I'm still sick.
You need to, maybe we need to take you, not me personally, I don't want to be involved with this, but maybe like you need to go to the doctor like Zoe did and have 3 nurses come in with 3 different needles and just stick you with an antibiotic, one in each leg and one right above the ass cheek, and get whatever's going on with you like fixed.
First of all, it's bronchitis. It takes a minute, and I finished my steroid, and no. I finished my steroid, and I only have a few more days left of this other thing that they're making me take. I don't remember the name of it. But I sound better.
You do sound better. Listen, I can ask around. I don't know personally.
No, let's calm down here.
I know who I can ask, can verify, but anyway.
I feel like that doesn't need to happen.
He is the Sultan of Spit or Swallow. Sultan of Spit or Swallow. I'm all tongue-tied now because of the goddess of that God. I can't even talk. Fuck it. Sultan of Spit or Swallow, Daddy Delgado, my friend Vince.
Daddy's home, Matt.
And that Pornhub Poppy race is still tied. You guys are doing great though. Vince
there is no
next week because Katie won't be here.
There is no.
You'll be in the lead next week.
No, there's no race.
I'll take that lead.
There's no race. No race whatsoever.
No.
Not even a sprint.
Goddess of that gawk. Okay, I got it out.
Don't.
I had to say it because I was fucking it up.
Write that down. That could be a title.
Am I actually writing that down?
What? I mean, you can. Yes, please actually do write down "Goddess of That Guy."
Okay.
Not even like 15 minutes into the live stream, we already got a contender for it.
We're not even 3 minutes into the fucking episode.
True.
What do you mean?
Our co-host, our guest host. Oh, I was just about to talk shit. I was just about to talk shit about how our guest host hasn't even made it. We might already have a title. Thank you, Amani. We appreciate it. And then look, here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Proprietor. Vince, proprietor means someone that runs something. So like I would not be the proprietor of Creation World. That would
You'd
be
be the
Travis.
proprietor of all things Pornhub.
No, I
On
also
Creation
do
World.
not run all things Pornhub. That's still incorrect. However, he is the proprietor of Rivet City Radio, host of Botch Spots and Chair Shots. He is a chef by trade, a mark by choice, and because I wasn't prepped, one half of the DP Bros.
Always got that on me.
Listen, Travis has not booked us together on the Creation Conversation so we could have our DP Bros time in a long time, which is why I hit you. I was like, I feel like it's been a long time since I got to do a show with you. I'm used to getting it a little more often from you than like once every 2.5, 3 weeks. So I wanted to see your beautiful face again.
You know what it is? Bridget and Mara. Bridget and Mara, like they're like, I need Will on Creation, and they jeopardize it. They just take all the time.
By the way, shout out to Jesus. I was wondering where he was.
Vince does have a fancy new set. I like the new setup, Poppy.
Yeah, you didn't even acknowledge Allison like complimenting your new thing and everything.
I did. I'm just
that's fucked up.
How appropriate is that, Jaxbo? How appropriate is that?
Our blues.
He DM'd me an AEW CM Punk. I'm assuming it's a statue, but it's him in his cross-leg position holding the mic on a piece of an AEW toy ring. Looks really.
Oh, okay.
Looks really dope. I know that's what you sent me. Also, he said that we all need to go out and touch grass, and I told him that I have fucking allergies. So like, that's not a thing.
I mean, I can like touch the grass for like a minute or two, but if I'm there too long, then yeah, I start getting itchy and I gotta go home.
Dude, this is beautiful. I talked shit about Will not being here yet. He shows up. Vince was talking shit about Jesus before the show started. Jesus showed up.
Yeah, I was wondering where he's been. I didn't talk shit. I was wondering where he was. I'm like, where's Jesus at?
I don't talk shit.
Allison got her Dickosaurus Rexes back.
I can't tell what that one is.
That's tinfoil Ryback.
Okay, I was gonna say I got bad eyesight. I can't fucking see that.
Vince said, "Where has Jesus been? I haven't seen him in the chat in a long time." And then,
I said Jesus likes me more because he shows up on my show.
Apparently, he prayed for you because if you want to see Jesus, you have to pray.
Hallelujah.
Allison, you are here for every show, and Devin, the Tribal Chief, is here, even though he's on the wrong side of this argument about Cody and Roman. Jaxbo's here. We got a good crowd tonight.
Yeah. Shout out to Allison. I already put it in the chat, but thank you again for the set. Like I was gonna answer, but then Melissa FaceTimed me in the middle of the show, and I'm just like, it's the fiance. I have to see
middle of the show.
In the middle of the show.
We've been live for 10 minutes.
I know.
Not only have we been live for 10 minutes, but we've been live for 10 minutes at twitch.tv/Creation World, where if, ladies and gentlemen, you have Amazon Prime, you have Prime Gaming. You link your Prime Gaming to your Twitch account. You get a free sub every single month. You can give to your favorite content creators. Speaking of your favorite content creators and people that you can subscribe to on Twitch, Miss Katie Kinsey Bebe and the She Lead Showcase been accepting subs since 2005. So go sub there. If that's not your cup of tea, well, you're a fucking idiot. But if it's not your cup of tea, maybe you like variety, the spice of fucking life. Rivet City Radio, Off the Top Media, Botch Spots and Chair Shots. Eventually, I'm assuming the Boss Bitch Trivia will come back on Thursdays because my Thursday nights have been kind of empty without it, but it's a thing that exists. So many shows, so much variety over there for whatever you want. What?
Your Thursday
Chili
are
on
a little
Thursday.
empty. That's fun.
My Thursday nights. You're my Thursday like afternoon.
Whatever. It's night for me. But okay.
Well,
We've established that Central
What-
Standard
yeah.
Time is the real time.
neither
Whatever.
here nor there. You can sub to Botch Spots and Share Shots. Who you should really sub to is Creation World, because you're already here watching us. You already fucking love me. And you think I do a fantastic job. Look at that. She loves me too. Almost as much as she loves Travis, who is the reason why all of this exists and why I'm plugging all of this fun shit.
Yep.
Kevin the Tribal Chief also does a bunch of cool shit on Twitch. So, like, if you don't like white people, up. Like, I know a lot of white folks and Vince here. So if that's not your thing, go check out Devin. He's got you. We love our boy from Chicago. So go support somebody on Twitch and use that free sub. If you're not on Twitch, you might be on youtube.com/creationworld watching us live, where it is free to like, to subscribe, to comment. Will, what does that do?
Boosts the algorithm and it helps find new listeners.
That is correct. Katie, why would I be interested in finding new listeners?
Well, because you're a variety of things, you know, as we've discussed many a time. You're a whore. You're a hoe. Again, I still can't get
Ho!
capacity. Thank you.
Oh,
And I think it was last week or the week before. You're also a slut.
All of those things, but all of those things for your entertainment, not just like sexually. I'm a one woman man now, because she'd castrate me if I wasn't. I am here for your entertainment, to whore myself out, to slut myself out, to hoe myself out, to entertain you, whether it's doing whatever I'm doing now, the rack, taking my shirt off, lifting weights, talking shit, making porn reference, whatever it is that makes you giggle and want to come back, that's what I'm here to do. So to help expose me and slut me around to as many people you know as possible, you got to hit that like, you got to hit that subscribe, you got to leave a comment. Vince, what does that do?
What?
You
You got to do all of those things to get me some exposure, to get us some exposure, to help people enjoy us as much as you do. Moms,
Spread you out
dads,
like
grandmas,
herpes?
grandpas. No.
Like
Listen.
gonorrhea?
No.
Like HIV?
No.
What is that?
why
You
would
don't
you
want to get
go
spread
there?
around like an STD?
No.
No.
Because that's not a positive thing, and we're a positive place for positive people who like
Unless you test
sex
positive for the
positivity
STD.
and wrestling positivity and positively want to, experience this. And I don't know a lot of people that positively want to experience an STD. But thanks for that, Vince.
Nobody.
While you're watching, flick that bean, hit that notification bell up top. Get notified every time we go live, Monday through Friday, for what show, Vince?
The creation conversation.
Correct. If you stall and drag this out, the show's going to go longer. So let's try this again. Every Saturday, 11 p.m. Central, for what show, Vince?
The Smackin It Raw podcast.
And every other Sunday for what show, Vince?
The show in which you get off.
Getting Off. That is correct, which will be back next Sunday with Miss Katie Kinsey Bebe. And if he has time, possibly Will Gray, covering No One Lives and Incarnate. We will have our definitive rank of WWE horror films by the end of that. So come check us out then as well. I think that's it. So I'm pretty sure it's Katie's turn to take over, because we got some news. We got some rumors. We got some things to talk about.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about, actually. I had a whole post-it note of shit.
Jesus.
And I know. It's crazy. Crazy things have happened in this week of things that have gone on. The executive producer of Stardom got fired, and people were like, what the fuck's going on? That happened. That was a thing. That happened on like Wednesday, we'll say. And then the next day, they're like, LOL, hey, guess what? Scott D'Amore gets fired from TNA. So, like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Everyone's dropping like flies.
I have no idea who the executive producer of Stardom is. I did hear there's an issue between Stardom and New Japan and that whole thing where they were having fun that Will probably knows more about than I do, because he's smirking down there like the devil.
I just like the name of the parent company, Bushy Road.
There you go.
Bushi is the but Bushy Road.
No, Bushy Road. No, you said it
Bushy
correctly. Don't
Road.
fuck it up
You're,
now.
you're right. You're right the first time.
Bushy Road. Ultimately, the long and the short of it is I would compare it to the NBA WNBA issue, and I don't necessarily mean to tie basketball in here, Matt. I know that's not your cup of tea, but like the WNBA has for a long time fought to get closer to equal pay for what the NBA is making, but for obvious reasons, they don't pull as much in ad revenue and stuff like that, so they're not as able to pull the contracts the way it does.
Pause. It's because people suck. Men specifically, men who think that sports should be dominated by men. My wife and I were actually talking about this outside because I just got done watching the Marvels. And I heard a lot of negative reviews about it, and it was fucking great. And Travis told me it was fucking great. It was really good. Captain Marvel also got a bunch of shit reviews. That movie was fucking fantastic. And it's a bunch of these nerdy ass dudes on the internet who don't like seeing women in roles of power and women succeed and female superheroes if they're not in porn parodies, which we may or may not cover over at pornhub.com/model/creation world. If you want to go there, not the porn parodies specifically, not superheroes. That might be something coming down the line later. We'll talk. Anyway,
I follow.
like,
There's so much going on.
men suck. And the reason that women don't get the recognition in wrestling and in other sports that they do is because of these toxic men who don't want to see women succeed at the same level of men because they feel like women should be beneath them. That is not what we are here. So if you're one of those dudes and you're watching, this is not the show for you. Will, please continue.
Well, so the long and the short of it is New Japan gets better TV deals and they get more ad revenue and they get more of the things that allow them to pay their talent more money. Stardom's issue is they wanted to pull a bunch of money from Bushi Road to pay more people in Stardom. Bushi Road was like, but Stardom's not pulling the money that New Japan pulls, so no.
From a business aspect, I understand it, but again, I don't necessarily know that it's an issue with Stardom because a lot of the women that we love watching in the States had runs in, came from, and did great things over in Stardom. I don't think the issue is the product in Stardom. I think it's the mentality of fans as to why they won't get behind things like this. I mean, who do you know that watches WoW?
Outside
crickets, right? Nobody watches WoW. There is a women's promotion in North America that features all women's wrestling, and of the four of us in our large reach across the IWC and all of our friends, none of us can think of a single person that watches and covers and talks about WoW. Probably because it's a women's promotion and a women's only promotion, and it's not getting the notoriety and the push that a man's promotion would because of that exact mentality that we just talked about.
Yep.
Now, Scott D'Amore, speaking of obscurity, pulled Impact out of obscurity, busted his ass, took them from the ledge that they were about to jump off of, and brought them back into semi-mainstream notoriety. And as soon as he got them to where they actually seemed fucking valuable, Anthem came in and said, all right, good job, bye.
Yeah.
Didn't keep him on as a booker, consultant, head of creative, nothing. I don't know who the fuck from Anthem is going to run a wrestling show.
I don't remember what his name is. I didn't take a picture of the tweet, so I don't remember.
The reason you don't remember what his name is because nobody knows who the fuck this guy is.
Well, that's also very true. This is a very true statement. And that does suck because Scott D'Amore was actually, like, from what I could tell, really well liked backstage and, like, actually, like, helped a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And that does actually really fucking suck. I guess he wanted to, like, buy Impact, and they were like, LOL, no. And
I heard
then
it was
said,
considered, but not seriously considered. But it was a legit offer that was on the table because I think, if I read correctly, he knew like a week in advance, maybe even 2 weeks in advance, that he was gone before it was actually announced. And he knew he was out the door, so he's like, let me buy TNA from you. And they considered it for a minute, and they're like, nah. We'd rather try to milk this cow as much as we can and squeeze it dry.
Well, Will, again, when it comes to things like this, you're a little more in the know than I am, but my understanding is that Anthem wants to bring TNA more into the fold of their product. They own a bunch of TV stations and record labels and all sorts of shit, and they want to bring TNA into the business aspect more so of what they're doing. They called this streamlining that, but again, you build up this notoriety, you finally get this company back to where people are really talking about it and excited about it, and then the person that did that you fire. I don't know how really, you know, great of a move that is, or in good faith that is with the people who loved the show and were loyal fans.
You're muted, sir.
If there was ever a point when I would tell wrestling fans there needs to be some time to let this breathe, this would be now. Because there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes and a lot of people talking about exactly why Scott was let go. The number one reason being that he wanted to buy the company, and when they told him he couldn't, it was the going a different direction than what Anthem wanted to take it. But there is also some stuff about him and Giselle's relationship. There is stuff about him and relationships with other people in the past. These are all allegations right now. But what I'm saying is this is one of those, we need to let this breathe before we decide whose side we want to take in this, because maybe not everybody's hands are clean.
Which is why I bring you on, because again, there are things that I haven't heard that I don't know that Katie was clearly surprised about. I don't know, Vince, did you know any of that?
So I heard that supposedly like don't be surprised if like some allegations come forward and that's the reason why he was actually let go.
Nick Houseman has reported that him and Don Callis, Houseman put his initial report out in 2020 that him and Callis had allegations against them in the TNA locker room or the Impact locker room at that point. And now he's bringing it back to light because he was like, well, you know,
what's with all these fucking partners in crime? Like, you can't just go out and do fucked up shit by yourself. You gotta have a tag team partner to do fucked up shit with in wrestling.
I like to do hood rat shit with my friends.
That's not hood rat shit. That's gross shit that they're doing though. There's a difference.
There's a line.
Callis needed Scott. Vince needed fucking
Johnny Ace.
Johnny Ace.
No. Oh,
be a terrible person on your own. Like,
yeah. If the things about D'Amore end up being true, I mean, I'm not necessarily surprised at this point. Everyone's, like Matt said, everyone's hands are fucking dirty in some way, shape, or form. Higher ups. Fuckers. Anyways, I'm just going to bust through the rest of these because there's not a whole lot to deal with.
Bust down.
Bust down, Tatiana. Brian Pillman, not Junior, not Lex King. Brian Pillman will have merchandise in WWE now. WWE came to an agreement with the Pillman estate. His daughter, Brittany, I believe her name is, posted about it. So we will be getting that stuff very soon. That's awesome, especially with Pillman Jr. being in WWE now. Mm-hmm. That's a good step in the right direction there. Cash Wheeler will have a hearing on February 20th about his aggravated assault charge from last year at this point. I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody has from his team or AEW has said anything. That'll be fun. Liv Morgan's charges were dropped though. She paid like $500 and she's Gucci. So
it's fucking weed. Like
it's weird. It's that whole thing was blown out of proportion and stupid anyways. WWE Speed will be on Twitter.
Who's selling that?
No, hold on. Stay with me here.
What?
WWE Speed, you got a hookup for that?
No, I do downers, Matt. I stopped doing uppers in my 20s.
Jesus.
Fair enough.
Fucking Christ. WWE Speed will be exclusively on Twitter, and it'll be 5-minute matches. They started doing some of these live shows and like before like Raws and SmackDowns and stuff a few months ago, but they officially announced it during that press conference that I had to watch after the fact.
Is WWE Speed going to be in direct competition with AEW Coke?
Yep.
Oh man.
And NWA
I
Matt.
see what you're doing. And yes, and NWA Matt.
Yeah, there's a lot of competitors here we got going on.
Jesus.
Dark Side of the Ring Unheard will be a podcast coming out. I don't remember when they said. It's gonna dive into like hours of unseen footage, testimonials, and a bunch of other stuff that we didn't get to see on the show. So that'll be fun, especially because the new season comes out next month. I think, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. This is just mainly for me. Sol Ruka returned at an NXT house show, and she's cleared for in-ring competition. Let's fucking go. Sol Ruka, baby. She was gone for like 10 months. We missed her.
Oh, that's why I don't know who that is. I wasn't watching NXT. Either. I was like, what is this?
Will,
Oh,
you love
Ruka.
her.
But my
She
favorite
keeps
thing
going.
though, my favorite thing, Will, is how I don't know if it's our influence or just what, but slowly things like NXT or a certain guy cutting promos you've come around to after you've been against it for so long. It's a beautiful thing.
Look, I used to say Will Ospreay was like a Wish version of Ricochet, and now I say Ospreay is one of the best workers on the planet. Last year fucked me up wrestling wise. It got weird for a minute.
Just a little weird.
You felt
not
some
crazy
things.
weird. Sonya Deville and her partner Toni got married today. This is a win for me.
Congratulations.
I'm so happy for them. This is for me only.
Were
I don't
you
care
at,
what anyone else's opinions
were
are.
you at the wedding? Were you?
I
were you-
fucking wish I would have been. They looked beautiful. Absolutely
Yep.
stunning. People took pictures. Like people.com and actual people at the wedding. But like people.com covered it. It was great. Maria Menounos was their officiant. She looked beautiful too.
Interesting.
Oh, highly recommend if you haven't seen the pictures. Go look at them. They're gorgeous.
That's
And the
the
last
one.
thing, again, Maurice, if nobody saw, I think today posted that she has to have a total hysterectomy, which for those who are unaware, that's basically when you take all of your lady parts and they get taken out of your body. So no ovaries and fallopian tubes and things that men don't know about, gone.
So, like, Vince, when you picture a woman's, you just picture the entrance, right? But like beyond the entrance, there's a bunch of stuff connected there that's actually kind of on the outside for dudes. Like, if you were to take your balls and penis and shove it back up inside you, that's kind of where the rest of the women's reproductive system is. Your testicles are basically the ovaries, stuff like that. And they're taking all that out. It's like internal castration.
Yeah.
I
So
just love the
she-
look on Vince and Will's face right now. They're just dumping.
I'm just waiting to
I
see
mean-
what he has to say. I think I'm going to see if that's true.
I'm
Single
still
mom and
waiting
two
for the
sisters.
why.
Oh,
Like,
so it is for an actual like legitimate reason. So she had, I think she said 11 things removed from her ovaries, and they thought it was endometriosis. It was not. It's actually Sarah's borderline tumors, and they got it very, very cancerous. That's why she's having a total hysterectomy, to get rid of everything. She went through, and this is why, and like she posted about it, which just go read her Instagram post. She talks all about it and she explains everything beautifully. People need to start listening to women in general, but specifically when it's like our bodies on the line. We know something's wrong. Listen to us.
Well, that's actually, because was that your last bit of news?
Yeah.
That's a great plug-in, because cause and effect, right? I sat here and I said, we support women, we support women's wrestling and women's athletes and blah, blah, blah. And if you don't like that, then you probably shouldn't tune. And like immediately 3 or 4 people dropped out of the chat. So like, fuck them. But look, we just lost another one. I said it again, like cause and effect. It is what it is. Yes, a true champion. But we also support women's reproductive rights here. We, I live in a state that allows women to get taken care of and get the medical health care that they need for situations like this, thank God, and don't force them into situations that are dangerous and life-threatening for stupid reasons. We had shirts that we were selling across platforms between me and Katie. Every shirt she sold went to Planned Parenthood. Every shirt that we sold, the proceeds went directly to the Women's Reproductive Rights Assistance Project.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I fucking mean. Nobody listens to women, specifically doctors.
Women
And
don't
just
even
men
listen to women.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
It's terrible, but like I'm glad that in this scenario, Maurice said, "I know something's wrong," and went to find somebody who would listen to her and did help her and is making sure she's okay. She's got 2 little baby girls at home. Like she's good. She doesn't like. And for those unaware, obviously, if you have a total hysterectomy, you can't have kids anymore. So she will not have to go through that anymore, and hopefully that clears everything up and she's good.
Yeah.
I agree. Honestly, I thought you were going to tell me Maurice was announcing your OnlyFans. This is like the exact opposite of that. So
A complete opposite. Yeah. So highly recommend everyone go read it.
Something that you can find on OnlyFans is the next segment, the biggest segment, the segment we are best known for, and that is Spit or Swallow.
Terrible.
Segway's a segue. Seeing as I know that he wants to get it off of his chest because he likes to come on here and do it, and that they had a TV show air this week, Will, spit or swallow?
Funny you say that. Because my first spit of the week, and I'm just going to go ahead and get the one spit out of the way for it, because it was my favorite show of the week. It was the best 48 minutes of wrestling this week, except for this one piece, okay? And the CW needs to get their shit together, because I was about 38 minutes into the stream. They start the ultimate match of death. EC, what is this?
Sorry.
Continue.
They started
EC.
the ultimate match of death with EC3 and Cardona. And when EC3 got color, they shifted to black and white. They killed all the color for the stream.
Damn.
And finished the whole show in black and white. And then I messaged my guy in the NWA and said, "What the fuck was that?" And they said, "Yeah, that's a CW thing."
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Like CW shows.
I know, that's what I thought too. Yeah.
Like fucking Vampire Diaries was on that goddamn channel.
And isn't SmackDown, yes, maybe possibly going to CW as well?
NXT is already signed. SmackDown's going to USA.
Yeah.
Okay.
NXT's going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I spit the fact that halfway through the show, they went to a black and white broadcast because one of the wrestlers started bleeding in the middle of the match.
Listen, black and white is only good in wrestling for Tony Storm and in other places on black.com or Black Raw. Nowhere else.
Or the NWO
on my
entrance
TV
minus Terry
and or phone. See, I'm not even about the black and white for the fucking NWO entrance. Like, I've been watching old school WCW. They didn't do that. That was a WWE thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I never watched WCW.
If you want, I can get you all caught up. You can come join us for Bash at the Beach next weekend. We've only got like 9 shows to watch to get caught up between now and then.
Alan said so. It's like Kill Bill. It sounds like it.
Yeah, it's kind of like Kill Bill.
I love Kill Bill.
I think Travis has been hard set on never having me on the show.
We've never talked about it because you never showed interest in it because you don't watch.
I did show interest in it, and I told him that I was like, "Well, when am I going to be on the show?" And he's like, "Never."
Well, he's going to say that regardless
Yeah.
because it's Travis. But you know who's not Travis?
Cool.
Katie. Katie, spit or swallow.
Hey, that's me. That's me. I'm. Where do I want to start? I'll start here. I'm gonna swallow DIY winning the Fatal 4-Way Tag match on Raw. Hell of a fucking show. Special shout out to the Creeds because the Creeds are fucking legit always. And with that, because we lump things together here, the match on Smacketh Down between DIY and British Strong Style minus Trent 7 was so fucking good. I was just like, NXT on SmackDown. What a good time. Put it down. Put it down. I enjoyed both those matches so fucking much. I just love... I don't want... Yeah, I'm surprised he's...
I was going to ask.
Shout out to Jalen.
Took care of it.
I'm just hoping Judgment Day loses these titles or they get split because I'm over this. And this proved why. Because you had 4 great tag teams fighting on Raw, and then last week you had 4 great tag teams fighting on SmackDown. I love tag team wrestling. Especially Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa and Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne.
Big strong style boys is what I call them.
I just call them British Strong Style still.
And they're all fighting for an opportunity at a mid-ass tag team.
Damn.
Y'all disrespectful. But whatever.
Hey, listen, I am all for bisexual Undertaker. It's Finn Balor I have an issue with.
Yeah, bisexual Undertaker is my favorite thing anyone's ever called Damian Priest, and he responded today. He was like, "What the fuck?" Because someone said he was
also write that down for a title.
Bisexual Undertaker. I'm writing it down.
Okay. No, I'm with Katie. I had that as one of my swallows as well. I actually had that as my 4th swallow in my order. Big Strong Style Boys versus DIY slapped. I thought it was the best match on the entire episode of SmackDown. The Fatal 4-Way last week was great. The Fatal 4-Way on Raw was even better. Like crazy spots. It was all great. And when you're talking about tag team, like I didn't even see this on SmackDown. I saw it on Twitter earlier on today. But there's a brand new tag team on SmackDown they got formed between Ashanti Adonis and Cedric Alexander. And I liked the little video package. It seemed like they had some like chemistry going together, like 2 best buddies, like in a buddy cop movie. I mean, intrigued to see where they go with that. So at least they're using Ashanti and Cedric. So
that's not even mentioning the fact that we still have AOP. We still have the Street Profits. I'm pretty sure Indashir is floating around somewhere in catering.
They're there somewhere.
They're there. What other tag teams are we from? Not. Well,
fingers crossed that we'll see an American Alpha return at some point once.
Alpha Academy is still there. Close enough.
Listen, I love Otis. Otis is not Jason Jordan.
He is not. I miss JJ.
True. Listen, American Alpha was like...
Yeah, Pretty Deadly exists.
Oh.
Their vignette on SmackDown was hilarious.
Bisexual DX exists.
I thought they were 70s DX.
No, they're
like 7.
We have the Attitude Era, and then we have the Ruthless Aggression Era, and we have the PG Era. Is this the bisexual era where we just make all of the Attitude Era wrestlers bisexual? So like Pretty Deadly is bisexual, Shawn and Triple H, Damian Priest is bisexual, Undertaker.
This is my era, fuckers. This is mine. I
Who
urge
else
this.
would be a bisexual version of
the Katie era?
This is the I don't care about Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. This is Katie's era now.
Oh man,
Swifty Bowl tomorrow.
You mean
Vince better swallow.
I'm just gonna go ahead and spit and swallow this all together because we do things in lumps now. Because I'm split on how I felt about it because there were parts of this that I enjoyed and parts of it that I didn't enjoy. I'll start with the positives. Swallowing everything Cody, Seth, Drew, Rock, Roman from this past week. DM Hunk got a brand new shirt where he continues his player hater of the year campaign versus CM Punk. Love to see it. Drew's whole plea to Cody about finishing the story, like it was hilarious. Drew is on another level of entertainment. He is literally the funniest guy. Cody versus Roman, it got confirmed. Oh yeah, Drew also clapped back at Seth, which I fucking loved, and I talked about it on Get Show, where Seth's like, "Oh, how did you even think it was going to be me versus you for the title at Mania after you take out Punk? Like, I already beat you multiple times." Drew's rebuttals with, "Yeah, but there was outside interference. It's not my fault. Plus, didn't you lose to Cody 3 times in a row? And here you are begging him for a match at WrestleMania." Fucking love that shit. I loved how he's like, "Oh, like the DM Hunk, calling himself DM Hunk." That should be a title contender as well, DM Hunk, because I love it.
You have said it like 15 times in the span of 10 seconds.
Can you tell I have a fixation for it? That's a big meaty man. I love them. Like I said, Cody Roman main event confirmed based off of the presser, and then Triple H later on and reconfirms it on SmackDown, saying that's the main event. Doesn't matter what anybody else thinks in the locker room. They need to. Other people try to like assert their authority, even though they don't have any. They need to know their role, throwing all the subliminal shots at The Rock. Obviously, the back and forth with Rock, Roman, Cody, Seth was fun. But my only spit with that is that I felt like, especially at the presser, Roman didn't look as well after like Cody came out and Rock confronts him. And then Rock's running around all grumpy and pissed, talking to Triple H. It just kind of felt like Roman was just kind of like following him, like Jey Uso used to follow Roman. So it's like Seth is bisexual macho man equals my.
All right, listen. This is Smackin' It Raw. This is not the She Elite Showcase. This is not question of the week. How many bisexual wrestlers we can create. This is not a sweaty session, but I do encourage this to continue in the chat.
Yes.
So please give us all your picks for bisexual versions of old school wrestlers.
I like
in
this.
the chat.
Love all of this. But yeah, all of that like is the stuff I didn't like. I thought that Seth, like except for the part where he goes in and defends Cody's honor after Rock slaps Cody, I felt like he just was kind of like in the background and was left looking like side characters in this story. Roman as well. Nitpicking is all I'm doing. That's why it's this minor spit in the whole encompass of this giant like load that I'm swallowing. I still need the little plot hole of last week explained as to why Cody was like, "I'm coming after you. I'm coming after that title, Roman, just not at WrestleMania." And then at the presser, he's like, "I'm coming for you at WrestleMania." It's like it's minor plot hole. If Bully Ray can sit there and talk about how he needs explanation for a tattoo, I can sit here and ask for an explanation.
Don't be like Bully Ray.
Why not? And my last final two things in that big giant load is that I'm spitting if they end up doing Cody versus Rock or Rock versus Roman in one of the two nights and take one of the main events from the women, because either Bayley and Io deserve to main event or Rhea versus whoever her challenger is deserves to main event. Specifically Bayley. She won the Rumble. She should main event. Cody won the Rumble. He should main event. And shout out to Punk for acknowledging and respecting Bayley on his social media. Yes.
No, that's just a huge proactive spit. Like normally I'm like, I spit this, but I may take it back later. You're like, I'm spitting something.
Oh yeah. That's a preemptive.
Like months
that's
in
a
advance.
preemptive spit. Sorry, I forgot to mention. That's a preemptive spit. I will go ahead and swallow it if it doesn't happen.
Now, the one thing that I'm going to contribute to the podcast, other than asking you guys to spit or swallow, since we have 3 guests, and I forgot to do that last time we ran a little long, is you guys can go check out at Smackin' It Raw on TikTok. I talked about it. I want to be worked in wrestling, right?
Yeah.
And they worked me. Whether this was the plan all along, whether it was a pivot, I don't care. I really don't. Because when Cody came out and he said, I'm coming for you, just not at WrestleMania. And then he brought out The Rock, and we had the stare down. The Rocky sucks chance, like the logical shit, not the other shit, the toxic shit that everyone's talked about, that we've talked about with terrible fucking people running people off social media and all sorts of shit. But like the Rocky sucks chance and the callbacks to like 1997 WWF and all that, the boos, the we want Cody stuff, whether it was passed out from WWE or whatever the case, all of this leading to the presser, which I honestly like. I don't need a story, Vince, because in my mind it makes sense. He said he had counsel. His counsel was The Rock. The Rock said, "Hey, let me handle this. I got it." And then The Rock went out at the press conference and pulled up the fucking family tree and said, "There's only one dominant royal family." And Cody's like, "All right, listen, I'm not going to let you just sit here and disrespect everything." Like, we said it on the show last week. You cucked my Cody. He's like, "I'm not getting cucked. Fuck this shit." And he went out there and said, "I still have control. It's still my decision. And if you're going to be a bitch, fuck you. I'm taking the match." Like, The Rock didn't like that and slapped the taste out of his mouth. And then we got The Rock in the back swearing at Triple H, saying he'll fucking knock the teeth out of Cody's mouth and he doesn't fix this bullshit. And Triple H is like, "You're not going to fucking cuck me either." Nobody's getting cucked by The Rock round here, all right? Triple H came out and said, "Cody's getting that fucking match. If you don't like it, too fucking bad. Know your role. It doesn't matter. Shut your mouth. Suck my dick." All that fun shit. I've been on a high since that press conference. I wasn't going to watch the press conference. And then I saw the Cody Crybaby stuff happen. I'm like, all right, they're doing something here. They're kind of turning the Rock. Like, they're kind of turning the Rock heel. Because I listened to that whole thing on Pat McAfee, and I looked at my wife because he's like, it's the guys who are like, "Oh, you know, your wife comes up to you and wants to have sex. We want Cody. I can't right now." I'm like, "Listen, I don't give a fuck who's main eventing WrestleMania, baby. If you come to me and say you want sex, I'm dropping whatever I'm doing. We're having sex." Like, duh. But also we want Cody. So like, call me a Cody Crybaby. It is what it is. This is fucking great, and I'm invested and I'm excited. I don't really know what's coming next. I have thoughts and stuff like that of what might happen, but I'm excited to see where it goes. It's playing out fantastically. That low brought me to high highs, and that is why I love wrestling, and that is why I watch wrestling. So like, all of this has been fucking fantastic. CM Punk at the press conference saying, "This is wrestling. If he hits you in the mouth, it's wrestling. Go punch him back in the face." Because
punch him in the
somewhere else, Math and Nickelback have been taking subtle shots at one CM Punk with these old guys ruining the vibe of blah, 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 blah. So he came out and said, "Yeah, you know, if they're being an asshole and they deserve to get punched in the mouth, it's wrestling. Punch him in the fucking mouth."
Listen,
what I got fired for at the other place.
I said it on Get Show. I said it on Get Show this week. You gotta hate the right way. You gotta know how to hate. You gotta be a good hater. Don't be the other kind of haters. The Young Bucks are the wrong kind of haters. You gotta hate the right way. Drew is doing the CM Punk hate the right way. He's making money off of it. You would think the Bucks would make money off of this, but they're not making money off of the hate for Punk. Drew is. That's why he's DM Punk.
And Drew has been fantastic. Drew is trolling the fuck out of CM Punk and all of us, and it's entertaining as shit. So props to Drew.
It is.
I love Drew.
Do Will or Katie have anything they want to add to this before I go to Will for his next swallow or spit?
Rock shouldn't have been talking shit. Cody's like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna take his back." And I also would like to say, Roman being like, "He talks shit about my family again, we're gonna have problems." You all consistently shit on Dusty every chance you get. What do you mean? What do you mean? Cody said, "Your grandfather would be disappointed in you." Okay, so you slapped the taste out of his mouth? That's disrespectful. Cody should have beat y'all's ass.
And he will, and I can't wait for it.
I'll be there.
Like I said, rarefied air. Back-to-back WrestleManias. Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, Cody Rhodes. That's special. That's a special group to be in.
Kryptonite for Dwayne.
Will, spit or swallow?
I have another spit. This is a big picture spit, okay? And this big picture spit started the week after Backlash in 2023 when they announced the World Heavyweight Championship. And then the first thing they did was they said that it would be a Raw branded title. And then they immediately held a tournament between both brands for this title, which makes no sense because they had just did what, Matt? They had what did they have right after Backlash?
A draft.
Brand split, brand extension, whatever the fuck you want to
Okay.
call it.
So we're all on the same page here. And then for Elimination Chamber this year, they're taking 12 of the biggest superstars in WWE and they're doing 6 matches over 3 shows.
Mhm.
They're taking superstars from both brands, one of which is the mid-card champion from the other show, to have a competition for a Raw branded title in a company that is split branded.
Talk dirty to me.
Make this make fucking sense to me. Somebody do your Gen Z thing where you twist it around and make it make sense.
Can I have a crack at this?
I would love for
You
to take a
can,
crack
but
at
I can
it.
tell you right now you're wrong.
I don't care. So I actually kind of had the Elimination Chamber for Seth's title and all that being a swallow, and I was going to list it as part of everything, but I saved it for separately because I had already rambled too much. So I always felt like the Elimination Chamber, especially towards like the later years, was kind of like a last ditch effort for wrestlers to make it to WrestleMania, to have a title shot at WrestleMania. It's always kind of been that, but it's never officially been that. I felt like this year where they did half Raw, half SmackDown for the other world title, I liked it because, like, let's say Punk had won the Rumble and Cody didn't. This is how Cody gets to Roman, and it's logical because if you now set up the Elimination Chamber to be almost kind of like an equal to the Rumble in the sense where either brand can win this for a world title, that would be a good way to kind of be like, this is your last chance. It's like a last chance opportunity to have that title match, and you're not kind of saddled with the idea of like, oh, you can only go with Raw superstars. You can go with SmackDown superstars as well. So I didn't personally hate it. Does it make sense? Kind of, sort of. It does, especially if the idea is to help wrestlers get a title shot that deserve to get a title shot that didn't because they didn't win the Rumble. Like, if it's going to be a pseudo Royal Rumble for the men, I'm all for it. Does it have to be every year? No. But I kind of like what they did this year.
But can
Yes.
I, since this was my spit, I'll rebuttal first. No disrespect, Matt. I know it's your show. Okay, one, if you don't want to be saddled into only having to use Raw superstars, then don't have a fucking brand split. Two, you're a publicly traded company with multi-million-dollar TV deals. Put your aces in your places. Use your superstars everywhere. Don't hurt yourself by going, I'm going to split I'm going to take my 200-person roster and I'm going to split it between 6 different brands, and USA gets their chunk and CW gets their chunk and Netflix is going to get their chunk. No. Put your aces in your places. Write your stories week to week, because they did it for 50 years before the brand split started.
So
and they never had a problem with it.
I don't know where Katie stands on this because I wasn't sure when she started watching, if she had to fall off and dipped away. But I watched when they first like blurred the lines with these Raw super shows where SmackDown superstars would show up on Raw, and then it slowly became vice versa. The problem that happened with that was that it was the same people showcased on Raw that were showcasing on SmackDown. So yes, it's not a proper brand split, but we still do get some exclusives with SmackDown and Raw being quote unquote brand splits. Again, is it the end of the world? No. Do I actually like that they're trying to like make the Elimination Chamber be like another Royal Rumble title opportunity for wrestlers? I personally do, but I can understand how it just doesn't sit well with you guys.
But the problem with that is that is your mental gymnastics justifying it to fit your narrative. Never has it been announced, said, displayed, discussed that the Elimination Chamber is going to be of the same vein of the Royal Rumble, where the winner can choose whatever champion, regardless of brand or any of that. Like, that's never been a thing. And you said they don't have to do it every year, but if that's gonna be a thing, then they have to do it every year for it to be a thing. So
wasn't it last year? It was the number one contendership for a mid-card title.
Yeah, I think
wasn't it the number one contendership for the U.S. title? Because everybody thought Montez was going to win it.
Yeah,
and he should have.
Yeah, 100% agree. But that's the thing. Like, it changes every year what's in the chamber or what the chamber match is for.
I'm not going to tell you whether you should or should not like it, Vince. If you like it and you're happy with it, I'm cool with it.
I agree
100% with Will, because I've been beating this dead horse for fucking years on this podcast that they don't have a brand split. They've never had a proper brand split. They don't know how to do it. The writers don't know how to just write stories for the fucking people on their shows. And as soon as one person that they're hinging all of their plans on goes down, they throw it out the window and they just start pulling fucking people in. That's what they do.
Like to say, for the record, I would like to get my 2 cents out there. It's not just the men they're doing this for, folks. Same thing happening with the women right now too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
which is why I'm okay with it.
Yeah, SmackDown women fighting to get in the chamber for Rhea's title. It's the same thing. I'm just stating that for the record.
Thank you.
They should just relive versus Rhea for the title anyways. But
no, that makes it worse, because now it's a widespread no, it doesn't make it better. It makes it worse, because now we're doing it on 2 fronts. Now it really means that the brand split means absolutely nothing. There is no brand extension. There is no brand split, period. Because it's not just like they're doing it for one title. They're doing it for both Raw championships across 2 sets of rosters, the women's roster and the men's roster. So
okay. I hear you. I really do.
I don't think you do, but go ahead.
But again, my final point I'm gonna say about it, and then we'll move on from it.
That would be fantastic.
It would be.
Wait for my next turn. Y'all are really gonna love that one.
No.
Both the men and the women's rumbles, like I said, again, I'll agree. I'll concede to maybe this is my own mental gymnastics to make it make sense within the kayfabe of their brand split. Fine, I'll concede to that. However, the men and women's rumble are both co-branded, and they can choose whatever championship they want. And then the Elimination Chamber is the consolation prize, which is the other championship that doesn't get selected. So that's why I'm okay with it, because I actually forgot that the women actually did that. That was actually one of my points I forgot to write down, is that they're doing it with the women too. So if this is going to be a thing that's going to go across both rosters, and this is how you determine the champion for the other title that doesn't get selected via the Royal Rumble winner, I like it, because now we have clear paths on how to get wrestlers from Raw to SmackDown and vice versa, depending on whoever wins the Rumble. You know, you can have your cake and eat it too, so to speak. Like, let's say by some chance we have a 05 Rumble situation where Cody and Punk get eliminated, but Cody's feet actually touched first, and Punk wins, and he's not supposed to, but he's supposed to challenge Seth. Well, now Cody can go ahead and challenge Roman via the Elimination Chamber. Like, I'm saying that this could be a tool that they can use later on, just like the people in the chat should be using that bell notification to flick the bean and get notifications when we go live. You know, these are tools that people can use.
And even then, we had some fuckery back in 2016. Quick, since we're doing this, we'll get it out of the way. Becky qualified for the chamber.
Yep.
Bianca Belair qualified for the women's chamber.
Swallow.
Drew defeated AJ Styles and qualified for the men's chamber, and Randy defeated Sammy and qualified for the men's chamber.
Jack looking like a snack.
Can we talk about how Dom's in this, and he's going to qualify, and he's going to be in the chamber?
His ass is going to fucking lose.
Who's he wrestling? Kevin Owens? He's winning.
Yeah.
He's winning.
How fucking.
He's winning because Logan Paul, his buddy, is going to come out and help him get that win.
Logan
But
Paul's out.
he's going to get into the elimination chamber and he's going to get his ass wrecked and he's going to get embarrassed and it's going to be fun as
He's
shit.
eliminated first in the chamber if he makes.
I hope that Dom wins the chamber, challenges Seth Rollins, wins the title at WrestleMania, just so the world burns.
I hope you burn.
What was the last singles title that Dominic held?
North American Championship.
That's right, the NXT title. And he's a what superstar?
He is a global superstar.
Monday Night
The greatest
Raw.
master-
Where was
Monday
you
Night
get
Raw.
my point. Never mind. I'm sorry, Matt. It's your show.
No, you're fine because we also talked last week about how Damian Priest's best chance of cashing in his Money in the Bank is going to be for the NXT championship. So, like, bisexual taker NXT champion.
Which the fact that Priest said, I don't remember what he said it on, that he can't cash in on Rollins because he's not medically cleared. Bro, that's your perfect opportunity to cash in. What do you mean? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless he was told he can't do it because he's not medically cleared.
Semantics.
That's bullshit. I think I'm on Vince. I think that was all still Will. But I don't know if I want to do Vince because Vince talked a lot. So, Katie, spit or swallow.
Yeah.
Hey, that's me. Okay. So, stay with me. I'm spitting Carmelo Hayes being a hoe. Now,
Are we
I
surprised?
said it on my show. Carmelo Hayes works better as a heel, and he looks damn good doing it. That is true. He ain't got to do a trick like that. That's just disrespectful. He came out first, cock teased us. I didn't get anything, and I was like, well, this is a waste of my time. And then Dragunov, being a homie,
It's called
said,
foreplay.
bring your ass out. Shut up. Dragunov said, bring your ass out here, Mello. Let's talk about this. You ain't got to do a trick like that. Dragunov and Mello, they got beef. Hopefully, maybe at Roadblock. We'll see what happens. And then Carmelo Hayes just like starts talking shit. That's all you're gonna be is a sidekick.
Hold on.
It's jealousy.
Chain of events. Mello comes out. They boo him. He sits, says not yet. He leaves. He left the fucking arena. Dragunov came out and he's like, get out here. Let's handle this shit. Mello was out getting his dick sucked in a motel somewhere. Clearing his head. He needed some post-nut clarity.
I don't think
Mello
that's
needed
what happened,
that post-nut. Okay. He needed that post-nut clarity to come and talk to these fans, right? So he expressed himself properly. Meanwhile, Dominic Dijak, who, listen, fuck Dominic Dijak, all right? The last time Dominic Dijak was relevant was when Keith Lee made him relevant in matches against Keith Lee. Since that time and period, I have not given a fuck about anything Dominic Dijak has done. And since Keith Lee has been gone, Dominic Dijak has done nothing to prove to me that he is worth a shit in NXT. Not racist cop Dijak, not fucking whatever the fuck his name was in Ali's group Dijak. None of it has been working for me.
They were chanting T-Bar when he came out.
Stupid fucking bullshit. Last thing I need is Dijak coming out thinking he gets another shot at Dragunov now that Dragunov gets the title. So, like, go back to fucking Joe Wayne Gacy in a trashed can on a match that nobody wants to watch on a pay-per-view. Like, go back to that.
Dijak straight up clocked Dragunov. Full on. Fist to face. That shit was rough.
Then Mello comes out, full post-nut clarity, and as Katie said, listen, I'm not saying he was right, but I'm from his point of view, devil's advocate, from his point of view, he made a lot of sense. In his mind, he's Michael Jordan and Trick's Scottie Pippen. And Jordan never let Pippen get out of Pippen's role. If we're going to talk fucking basketball.
Know your role.
I don't want to talk basketball here.
What is happening? Matt made the basketball reference on the show.
I don't like this.
My point is, Carmelo said, listen, I was the star. You were there to support me. You got ahead of yourself. You stepped out of line. I'm just putting you back where the fuck you belong. I don't necessarily agree with him because Trick is fucking fantastic. But from his mindset, I see where he's at. I get why he did it. It makes sense.
By default, if that's Michael and Pippen, does that automatically make Ilya Steve Kerr? Just by default?
Yeah, it does. Sorry,
Okay.
Katie. I took over your thing. Please continue your thoughts on Mello.
I mean, that's basically all I was gonna say.
Okay.
But it's fine. Just
Look,
Well, no, because
more
you like
sports
heel-
references and shit.
Hold on. You said you love heel Mello,
Yes.
but you're still spitting him because
Talking too much shit and did the Shawn Michaels Bret Hart thing. I don't remember from what year that was, but
that was 05, I think, because that's when he turned heel for like a cup of tea versus Hogan at SummerSlam.
why can I hear myself in the background of something?
I did, now I don't.
Okay. I
That's
heard
weird.
that too. Like Trick's music plays, and I was like, he bent a chair on Trick's knee. Ain't no way Trick's fucking coming out right now. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm curious to see where this goes, especially with Dijak involved with Dragunov.
I'm not.
Because then Mello
No,
attack.
Dijak.
Can I finish my thought? Jesus. I'm curious
still
where
in the
this
chat?
is gonna go because Mello attacked Dragunov after the match with Dijak. So it might not be a triple threat at Stand and Deliver. Could be a triple threat at Roadblock, which is in less than a month. It's the last thing they have before Stand and Deliver. Something has to happen on that because it's the last pit stop or whatever. So I don't know. We'll see where the fuck it goes.
I disagree
Hold on,
with Katie.
Vince, hold on. Before you go, before you disagree, I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna teach you a lesson here. See, you gotta pay attention to body language, right? Like, I got off on a little tangent. I got a little pop for making a basketball reference. The chat loved it. But I saw that Katie was agitated because she had a point she wanted to make. So I went back to Katie. When you see that Katie's agitated, do not interrupt Katie. You can make faces. You can do whatever fucking. Do not interrupt her. When I interrupt you, you're not agitated. You're not making faces. And if you were, I wouldn't interrupt you. You got to read the room. You got to read body language. You got to pick your spot. And speaking of picking your spot, ladies and gentlemen, patreon.com/creation world. Pick your spot for $1, whether it's Return to Wrestling, which is Travis and Matt talking WCW. We are in 1998. Our next episode, recording next weekend, will be Bash at the Beach, so we'll be out this month. 1998 main event. Speaking of those bulls, it is Hulk Hogan and Dennis Rodman versus Karl Malone and Diamond Dallas Page in the main event. Right after the Bulls beat the Utah Jazz in the finals to win the NBA championship. You've also got Multiverse with Travis and Mara, where they talk DC animated films. So if you're a DC animated film fan, for $1, you guys can go check that out. And it's the same dollar. You got both shows. If you like both, watch both. If you like one and not the other, watch one. What you should go watch is If You Have to Ask with me and my wife, Kate. About 2 weeks from now, we're going to record our next episode. I don't know if we're going to have guests or not, but right now, there's an episode featuring Kate, me, Bridget, and Mara available for you. There's an episode with Kate, me, and Katie available for you. And then there's just, what I like to generally do with my wife, a little one-on-one. Our first episode available for you guys to go check out. Back catalogs for all this available at patreon.com/creation world. Now, if you go there and you check out the tiers, we offer you guys a bunch of cool shit. One of those things is this show ad-free, but since you guys are watching us live, we have some great sponsors. Actually, this is my favorite fucking sponsor that we have that I want you guys to check out, that Travis is going to be here as soon as the Patreon logo goes away to tell you guys about. And there it is. So come listen to Travis tell you about my favorite thing to use in the bedroom, sex toys.
Want to spice things up in the bedroom? Then it's time to check out Adam and Eve. Because you see, Adam and Eve is the leading adult toy store that offers a wide range of products to help you explore your sexual desires. Whether you're looking for something to use solo or with a partner, they have everything you need to satisfy your cravings. From vibrators to lingerie, bondage gear to lubricants, AdamandEve.com has it all. And the best part, you can shop with confidence, knowing that all their products are of high quality and backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. That means whether you bought a dildo, sex swing, penis ring, vibrator, anal sex toy, bondage toy, couples toy, lube, or accessory, you can get a refund within 90 days if you're not 100% satisfied. No questions asked. And right now, as a special offer to our listeners, Adam and Eve is giving you 50% off almost any item on their website. That's right, 50% off. And if you act now, you'll also get free shipping. So go to adamandeve.creationworld.com and use the offer code EROTICA at checkout. That's erotica at adamandeve.creationworld.com for 50% off almost any item and free shipping. Don't wait. This offer won't last very long. The link is in the description.
Now, Vince, I'm going to give you an option. You can either choose your spit or swallow or rebuttal Katie. If you rebuttal Katie, after your rebuttal, I'm going to go to Will. Or you have your next spit or swallow. So which one would you like to do? Because I can't have you go on back-to-back rants.
Yeah, no, I kind of figured that those were the options regardless when we came back. I'll just drop it. It's fine. It's fine. You made similar points that I was gonna make anyways, you know. And I made my points about Mello already on Getcho, so go ahead and check out at Getcho Podcast over there if you want to hear some of my rebuttals to Katie there before she even
shout out to Marks with Mikes and Down for the Count and
great episode, fun episode.
Vince's True Home, the Getcho Podcast.
I'm gonna swallow if I'm allowed to.
Vince, spit or swallow.
Thank you. I'm gonna swallow the War Dogs winning the Dusty Cups on Sunday at Vengeance Day. And now officially being a tag team with a tag team title match versus the D'Angelo family. And I am riding this War Dog train all the way to the NXT tag team titles. I cannot wait. I love everything that Braun and Baron have been doing. They've been gelling as a tag team. There's genuine chemistry there. This is the most I've been interested in Braun Breaker since his earlier run when he first started with 2.0, and this is the first time I've cared about Baron Corbin in a long while since like maybe bum ass Baron Corbin, the Wolf Dogs. Sorry, where did I say? So I said War Dogs. My fault. Wolf Dogs. Thank you. I appreciate the correction. Not perfect, but the Wolf Dogs. Shout out to them. I want them to win the titles.
So I feel like I was like, oh, like he's shouting out the Wolf Dogs. I know Katie's a fan of the Wolf Dogs because she likes to bark for Braun Breaker. I'm like, look at Vince and Katie having a moment. And then I realized this is all just a thinly veiled ruse for Vince to take a shot at the NXT Tag Team Champions.
I'm not taking a shot at the family.
Fuck with me. We took out OTM. We handled business at Vengeance.
You sound like Ted DiBiase Jr. talking about that ref's gonna fuck on me.
Down. Yeah, he's gonna fuck on me. We're gonna put down the Wolf Dogs, put them to sleep like vets, and it'll be done.
Is
the
family
that a contender forever for a
champs? Fuck on
forever
me?
Champs. We can't do fuck on me. We can't do fuck on me.
Yes, we can.
No, we can't.
I can make it work.
Oh, sorry. Vince wasn't done. Go ahead, Vince.
No. So the Wolf Dogs, like I said, I'm swallowing them as a team because it made the most sense for them to win the tournament. You know, this isn't a shot at the D'Angelo family. I was not making a shot. It's like I like these guys as a team, and I would like them to be tag team champions. Unfortunately, the family are current tag team champions. You guys are tired of Judgment Day being tag team champions. I'm low-key tired of the family being tag team champions. Put them on the Wolf Dogs. The family will pay him off.
Shout out to Wrestling Bros. I'm going to take a wild guess and say it's Bakley. Broke-ass Baron Corbin is going to take the payday over the tag titles.
That would be a great way to pay off that story, especially since Braun Breaker is leaving NXT. He's main roster bound, even though he can't choose.
Which is why I don't want to see him win the tag team titles. He's picking a contract. He's moving up. Let's not give.
You just don't want the family to drop the titles. Period. You just
I don't want anyone on the main roster holding titles.
Having titles not on their shows. We had a whole conversation about an hour ago.
Shotzi is going to challenge for the NXT Women's title. Are you going to tell me you're going to be upset?
She should not win that match.
Are you going to be upset if she actually wins it?
She's not going to win, though. It doesn't matter.
If she does, in the hypothetical world.
Isn't she on SmackDown?
Yes.
She's a global superstar.
Sorry.
Yeah, she is. Well, she like tweeted at Lyra and like wanted a match because everything that happened at Vengeance Day, and then apparently it got made official at one of their house shows this weekend.
The only way I would accept, Will pouring gas because we love him. The only way I would accept Shotzi winning the NXT Women's title is if she relinquished her spot on SmackDown and went back to being a permanent member on NXT, which I honestly would be okay with because then she could host every motherfucking Halloween Havoc like she should. So that I would be okay with. But her being NXT Women's Champion in the way that Becky was, not okay with. Not about it. Not about wrestlers on main roster winning NXT championships and carrying them to the main roster and all of that shit. Whether it's Dominic Mysterio, once Damian Priest cashes in, he's on NXT. He's not Judgment Day anymore. He's NXT Bisexual Taker Champion. That's it. Anyway.
And like you keep adding on to his name like I do with All American Nightmare Dragon, Jake Long, Bryan Danielson. Like you keep adding on the way I do.
Which was great because you weren't here one week and we were doing something and Vince did that, but he did it for the wrong wrestler. It wasn't Daniel Bryanson. It was somebody else. And he's like, whatever Katie calls him. And it was, I don't even remember who the fuck it was, but I just let it slide. I was like, that is not the right person, Vince. That is not
All American Nightmare Dragon.
It was
Jake
Cody
Long,
Rhodes. He gave it to Cody Rhodes because of the American Nightmare part. He's like, the American Nightmare Dragon, Cody Long, or whatever the fuck Katie calls him. I'm like, that is not the right person. No, but okay.
A, disrespectful. B, no. Cody has his own.
I am not going to confirm nor deny that because I have no recollection of the event. However, you show video footage of the event, I will remember.
I do have a TikTok and I like to post clips. I can find it. Will, thank you for being patient. Spit or swallow.
Oh, here we go.
You guys are gonna be blown away by this. I'm gonna jump to the indies for this one.
No,
a big swallow here. Progress Wrestling of UK and Defy Wrestling of Seattle are merging together in what will become the
Defy Progress.
It's gonna be, this is the indie wrestling equivalent of UFC and WWE merging together to make TKO, right? This is one of the biggest independent wrestling promotions in the US, merging with the second largest indie wrestling promotion in the UK. So what they're doing is this is going to be a locker room share where guys under contract for both companies will now have the opportunity to branch out and go back and forth between the States and England. So it's going to be huge. When you think about it, you look at like your Will Ospreays and your Pete Dunnes and your Gunthers, and then when you think of Defy, that's your Nick Waynes and your Christopher Daniels and some of these guys, your Swerve Stricklands. Joe Gacy spent some time out there.
Christopher Daniels still wrestles?
Yeah, he wrestled last week on one of the shows. I can't remember which one.
He was on Rampage or Collision like recently.
I think he was on Rampage last week.
But yeah, so I'm gonna swallow that. That's huge for indie wrestling. This could be, if done right, and I'll say it now on February 11th. Now it's after 12 a.m. That this could be a viable contender for a big TV deal. Like if shit were to go south, like the buying power that these two indie promotions together bring together could make them as bigger than a GCW, which in my opinion is the biggest indie right now.
Okay.
AR Fox is a good one.
Katie, Will, Vince, I apologize. At least two of you are going to laugh. One of you are going to roll your eyes. So what you're saying is that if WWE TK merger is Shane Diesel in length and girth, that this is like Drake, still big, just not as meaty.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Now I understand.
Jesus.
I didn't expect you guys to have a whole lot. Like, so yeah.
I mean, that's cool though. I think I saw something about it, but I didn't like dive deep. Like, I know both promotions a little bit, but like I didn't like take a deep dive into everything.
Last Word on Sports just put up a great article about it by
Will Gray?
by me.
by some dude we might know. His name might be Will Gray. I don't know. Never heard of him.
I saw something too. I did not come up with the Defy Progress joke. I got that off Twitter. That's how I knew about it. So
That's
I
right.
saw
You can
that
take it
and
for
it
your
made
own.
me chuckle.
That's how Twitter works.
Listen. I don't steal material. I credit. I got it. I somebody else did it. I got it from them.
Fair.
I'm a dirt sheet writer. I steal material. Literally get paid to steal material. Like,
yeah, but you're the one dirt sheet writer we like around here. It's not like Dave Meltzer who comes up with like 15 possible scenarios, none of which are correct, and then pretends like he knew all along what was going to happen. Katie, spit a swallow.
I was gonna say, how are you gonna make that segue for a second? Because I got real scared there. I don't know what the fuck you were gonna do. Hold on. We were talking about that.
Don't think about Shane Diesel's cock. Just power through.
I'm going to swallow everything that's going on with Swerve, mustached Hangman, and an angry Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is one of the angriest men I've ever seen in my entire life, and it's very cool to watch. After Swerve and Hangman went to a time limit draw, which I knew was gonna fucking happen. I knew it was gonna be a triple threat at Revolution. I'm not mad at that decision by any fucking means, because Swerve is on a high. Yes, Matt.
On that note, I do understand the character that we're building for Hangman, the anyone but Swerve by any means necessary. I just feel like they kind of got the roles reversed there and should have gone to a time limit draw. Hangman should have asked for 5 more minutes to defeat Swerve, and Swerve should have been like, I ain't giving you shit. I feel like that's where the roles made more sense. It was weird to me, of all people, to see mustachioed Hangman Adam Page be like, nah, bitch, I ain't wrestling you for 5 more minutes. You didn't get it. I'm out. I'm taking the easy way out. He doesn't take the easy way out. That's nitpicking.
From the outside looking in, since I don't like consistently watch the product, it feels like what they're doing is they're trying to do a double turn here, where Hangman's more of a heel, and then Swerve is more of the babyface, which obviously he's getting a great reaction from the crowd. Someone explained to me how Swerve can be a babyface now, but his minions are still acting heel.
While you think about that, Katie, you were talking about an angry Samoa Joe.
The angriest of Samoa Joes. Like, there are 2 Samoans named Joe that we know of. Roman Reigns is one, and he ain't do shit this past week. He shut his mouth. And then you have Samoa Joe. Angry man. Very angry. Pissed off he has to defend his title in a triple threat. Pissed that no one won the match. He shouldn't have to defend his title. He should be champion forever. And da-da-da-da. Angry man. I like the angry man. I have anger issues, so like I understand. I get it, Samoa Joe. I get it, my guy. And we have a contract signing next week, and they're gonna kill each other, and it's gonna be bloody, and I might have to watch Revolution.
Vince.
Yes.
Back to you. Babyface Swerve, heel minions. You got an answer.
I can't make any logic behind it. I'm not booking that. I'm just saying it seems like that's what they're doing. However, that is a fair point. Blame Nicholas and Matthew for this shit, and
it's Math and Nickelback.
Math and Nickelback. That makes sense now. I didn't get it the first time you said that.
Well, I don't know. I'm not feeling mustache Hangman, and I feel like I've soured on Hangman ever since he never took up the assless chaps wrestling gear concept.
Chaps are assless.
Thank you.
Rhea did it. So that's why she's mommy. You know, I've given up on Hangman showing the cheeks. I don't care anymore.
Because he's growing his mustache. He ain't got time to show the cheeks. He's growing his mustache.
He looks ugly with the stash. I think he
looks crazy. It's perfect. He's a deranged.
He looks like a cowboy.
He looks like Dutch Mantel.
He looks like Magnum TA.
No, he looks like Dutch
everyone
Mantel.
thinks his final form is.
Will's either saluting the tribal chief or has something to say.
I have something to say. Vince, when you were talking about someone explained to me how Swerve can be a babyface now, but his minions are acting a heel, and you were talking about the double turn. You were answering that question while you were explaining that, because in theory, the Bucks and Hangman were baby faces. Okay. The Bucks left and came back heels. Hangman hasn't made that turn yet. The same Swerve is a heel and hasn't made the full babyface turn yet. You describing the double turn in theory coming would explain why babyface Swerve has those tendencies while his faction is still a heel faction. You were explaining it without realizing it.
You're smarter than you even know.
I wasn't trying to do anything. I wasn't even answering the question. I was just saying, like,
to the microphone.
I'm not gonna take credit for that. I wasn't trying to do shit.
God,
but you did it. You answered the question. You did it.
Louis
We did it. You may not be a sexy beast like Ritter, but you are the salt of a spitter swallow, and you are a smart boy, and I'm very proud of you. You handled that business.
You're very condescending when you want to be.
I'm not being I'm putting you over. Sure. I'm not the one. Listen,
no, that's a different show. We don't.
Ivan specifically called me a sexy beast, and not you. That was not on me.
It's on the screen.
It's okay.
And so did Tim. So
what's up,
the
Tim?
amount of flirting that happens on this show,
surprisingly
not aimed at the only female, is insane.
Men love me. Specifically, two on the show right now. Men do love you, and you love women and men.
Bisexual era, bitches. I don't even know whose turn it is.
It's Vince. We did Vince, then we did Will, then we did Katie. So yes, it's Vince. Vince, spit or swallow.
Let's see here. I am gonna go ahead and spit Bailey possibly trusting Dakota Kai this week on SmackDown. She seems skeptical. There was some reluctancy. If the story is that Dakota didn't really know, I call bullshit, because if there's one person, like, obviously there's a lot of people you can't really trust, but if there's one person in the women's division you can't trust, it's Dakota Kai. She turned on Tegan Nox. She turned on Raquel Rodriguez. She turned on who else? She turned on someone else. I'm forgetting who else she's turned on, but she's has history of turning on people. Obviously, she's going to turn on Bailey. Bailey last week, well, actually, yeah, this past Friday, said that she's too smart. She's had this happen to her in the past. She knows better. Yeah, Dakota tried to make the save and made it seem like she was going to hit Bailey, but then attacked Io, then the rest of the Kabuki Warriors. Yeah, I'm spitting that if that's where we're going, where like Dakota is the final swerve. It's like, no, you shouldn't trust Dakota, period. So if that's where they go, they're going to backtrack a little bit of the whole Bailey knew this whole time type of thing. And all the goodwill they received on my end for that. But I'm also spitting the fact that there's no Bailey or Io on Thursday. Like, what the fuck? That's one of your Rumble winners. Like, not only did you know that Bailey was going to win the Royal Rumble and didn't have her on the poster, but now she's not even featured on this presser with Io or anything. Like, there's no love for Bailey except for CM Punk, like I mentioned earlier. So I'm spitting that aspect of it.
Agree.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, Bailey's got to have someone in her corner, even though it might be the Lulu of Bailey to think that Dakota actually is like her friend.
I hope.
She's not.
I hope she doesn't actually believe it. And it's more of a...
She looked skeptical. She was
hopefully.
like, I don't necessarily trust you. She kicked that chair out the fucking way. She said, don't come near me with that fucking thing. Mm-hmm. I don't... it's going to be one of those things where like Dakota's going to turn very close to Mania if she does, which she more than likely will. And then it's Bayley versus the world, which is kind of what we want.
That's what I want.
And we get Paramore for Mania. That's all I got. And Mania, night 1, Io Bayley.
Mania.
Paul can catch hands.
I want to see Bayley be smarter than she's been perceived this whole build. We got a hint of that when she basically said, I know what's been going on this whole time. I'd like to see Bayley pretend to let Dakota in and not give Dakota the chance to turn on her. To be one step ahead of Damage Control because she's the person that built Damage Control.
Yeah. I'd love to see it too. I'd love
she
to
did
see
the
it
same
too.
shit with Emma down at NXT. Storytelling.
Bayley?
Yeah. Emma tried to like acted like she was her friend and then like did some shady shit and then like still tried to be her friend, and Bayley like held her in for a hug because the crowd was like, hug it out, and then
yes,
and then boom,
and then hit her with the Bayley to
belly.
belly. I remember him now.
Cinema.
Which we might get with Dakota Kai.
Once she's medically cleared.
I mean,
she
she
said
looked good.
she was
She was
there.
running.
Close.
She was running. I haven't seen her run.
She tweeted that she is very close to being cleared, like legitimately. So,
William,
according to Bayley, she is cleared.
Well, then
which is why she was swinging chairs and sprinting. Well, that's they got to keep kayfabe. Yeah,
but like that's your fucking knee, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Will, I'm terrified, but spit or swallow.
I'm intrigued.
I'm gonna gargle undecidedly. Okay. AEW Dynamite and this faux invasion angle that they're playing with CMLL. Like they did the trios tag match or the 6-man tag or whatever it was, and then all of a sudden, like half of CMLL's roster is on Dynamite. I think it was this past Wednesday that happened, but I get why it's happening, and Tony Khan wants to help CMLL the way he's helped AAA and the way he helped Impact and the way he's helped New Japan and all the things he does where he has these working relationships. What?
Has he really helped, though? Because from what I've noticed, he has these relationships, and then he takes some of their stars, and then he cuts off ties with the company. And in my opinion, they're not really better off after Tony leaves them than they were.
No, they're not. I don't think he's helped at all. I'm just confused. Like, look, I'm not going to ever complain about masked luchadors on my television screen. Unfortunately, it's on Dynamite, so it's not on my television screen. It doesn't make any sense to me why they were just bringing that. It just kind of seems like, oh, we're gonna do CMLL versus Blackpool Combat Club, and just cause.
Well, that was the beginning of the invasion angle, because then you had Drillmatic hop the barricade and go out to save his brother. Not Dragon Ball E, but the other one I can never remember.
Trilistico.
No, that's Drillmatic. I said that.
Roosh?
The other one.
Moulin
was Roosh the other brother?
It's Roosh, Dralistico, and Dragon Lee.
Okay, Big Time Rush. No, he wasn't out there then. Well, he jumped Drillmatic jumped the barricade to go save somebody. Some of his comrades. And they started this invasion angle. They played it up with Mystico, which I'm pretty sure at one point was No Face in WWE. Or at least a version of No Face somewhere.
The original one, the one that botched all the time, not the one
the original
that
No
threw
Face.
soda cans at Chris Jericho.
Yes.
That's the one that
so like I don't know. Like we'll see where it goes. They did beat up Jon Moxley, so like that was kind of cool because John's one of the big stars.
They beat up Jon Moxley a lot the past 2 weeks. Which I don't remember. It was when they were getting ready to do the first Forbidden Door. They had Kenta come out and just beat the shit out of Jon Moxley too. Like
Tom Riddle has a child.
What?
Wait, what?
Voldemort Jr., I believe.
No.
What?
So
Close.
I think vaguely you meant to say Volador Jr.
Oh God.
Voldemort Jr. is what I read.
So much
didn't know
for
Tom Riddle-
vaguely being a
Is that-
man of 1,000 words.
Is Bellatrix Lestrange the mom? I've got questions.
I mean, probably. Let's be honest. No, it's the same shit they did with New Japan and Forbidden Door. You just had someone come out, beat the shit out of Jon Moxley, build to a thing, and then they slowly start disappearing after the fact.
It's a magic trick.
Fucking illusions over
It's
there.
not a magic trick. Voldemort Jr.'s out there, motherfucker. It's real magic. Hogwarts letter verified fucking magic.
A.
I need Wingardium and Leviosa as a tag team.
I can't stand you. I can't stand you.
Oh.
Honestly,
We can bring Raven back, put him in a mask, call him Ravenclaw.
I'm in. Say less. Hufflepuff? What are we gonna do Hufflepuff?
RVD
I mean, Hufflepuff is
part of
essentially
Hufflepuff.
just
RVD.
save big money at Menards and
RVD 's
Angelo
Hufflepuff.
Parker.
Yeah. Ilya Dragunov would be a Slytherin. I feel like that would be a given, like right off
No,
the
that'd be
rip.
Randy Orton.
all the snakes and dragons go in Slytherin. That's just how that's gonna go.
Yeah.
New Japan has a partnership with fucking Hogwarts. Wait, what is going on, baby?
Yes.
I'm so fucking confused.
New Japan has a partnership with CMLL.
This is amazing.
AEW
I'm
has
gonna
a
start watching New
partnership.
Japan if they're whipping out wands and shit.
They are. And CMLL has a relationship with New Japan. So those three
Kind
are
of
in bed
ones that
together.
Drake whips out.
AAA and CMLL can't work together at all because they hate each other.
Mhm.
Okay. I don't
Have
know
we had
why.
an Avada Kedavra match yet?
We are about to have an yeah.
Oh my God. This
Yeah,
show
hold it,
Googling
yeah,
it.
hold it.
completely went off the rails.
I'm creating a whole fucking Harry Potter wrestling league. So instead of death matches, you got Avada Kedavra matches and all sorts of
We
shit.
had an entire month where something in wrestling got related
A
back to
Diagon
Harry
Alley
Potter,
street fight.
A Diagon
I-
Alley street fight.
i.e. Drew McIntyre with the Sword of Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's all fucking there, guys. You just gotta
We
look
love
for
Harry
the
Potter here,
clues.
ladies and gentlemen.
Blues Clues
Mhm.
over in this bitch.
I love how I am being the least serious, but we've got Ivan and Bakley just in the chat spouting off the
Actually
most factual-
talking information.
Like, if you guys really want to know what the fuck's going on, go watch the live stream, read the chat because they have the real. And now Bakley's on board. Quidditch rules match.
Kevin was like, "This is the point when I'm done."
Thanks,
They're
Evan.
fantasy booking Harry Potter. I'm out.
Ironically enough, like they're on different live stream chats, so they can actually interact with each other, which is the funniest thing.
He's a ventriloquist. Magic.
Yeah.
now
Magic's
they're
real,
booking me in a
guys.
street fight. I'll take on Hagrid. You know, big meaty men slapping meat, baby.
Oh my God.
Meanie Man Invitational.
Yeah. Put Hagrid in the Meaty Man Invitational. Anyway, we got way
As you
off the
should.
rails. That was Will. Katie, spit or swallow.
How do we even go back? How do we come back from that? I don't
That's
even.
gonna stop giving me turns.
You're cut off.
Oh
Will.
God. I'm going to swallow everything Timeless Tony Storm and Deonna Purrazzo, or Deonna Pilato, as Tony has called her many times. Tony is fantastic. I love everything that she's doing right now. She had a match on Collision tonight against I can't remember who. I didn't write it down because I forgot. But after she won the match, she was laying in the ring and cutting a promo. She has a new short movie coming out next week called Wet Ink, which is probably a contract signing, if you are aware.
Write that down. Wet ink.
Episode title.
Yeah.
We have 4 options already.
But
Yes,
I need to
it's a
spell INC. Like Wet Incorporated.
Okay, it's a C now. Jesus. But it's just everything with this. They're both putting on fantastic fucking matches and giving people phenomenal opportunities. Queen Aminata has fought both Toni and Deonna. Kiera Hogan fought Deonna tonight. Toni, I think, fought Queen Aminata tonight too. I don't know. There's just a lot going on with these two women specifically in the women's division. Julia Hart's doing some spooky shit with Sky Blue.
I saw
Love
that.
that.
I watched. It was the only thing from Rampage I gave two fucking shits about. I watched that whole fucking show and it was trash until
Why?
that tag
Yeah.
Why
team
did
match.
you watch it?
Until the end, exactly.
Because I was in a good mood. I was still riding the CM Punk high or the Cody Rhodes high from the press conference. And I'm like, let me give Rampage a watch because they at least are going to have one women's match I'm going to give a shit about. Main event, Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander, Ruby and Saraya. Ruby said, fuck Saraya, bounced.
Finally.
Sky Blue, who you know we love round here, shows up, staring down Willow. Willow's like, yeah, okay, what? We were friends. Now, fuck you. Lights go out. Boom. I got a tag team partner, TBS champion, by her side. And I am all for a Chris Statlander, Willow Nightingale versus Julia Hart and Sky Blue match. Give it to me.
And we're getting half of that on Dynamite. We're getting Sky Blue and Willow for the first time in AEW. That's true. Ruby did get a secret letter. Probably from Angela being like, it's Soraya's fault. Fuck her. Because Soraya's ain't nothing but a bitch trying to cock block Ruby. Like,
He's a player
let her
here,
live.
for sure.
Like, fuck that. But no, women killing it. And I didn't even talk about this. Big business being a thing. March
That's actually
13th.
my next spit.
Oh, please talk about it because it's a fucking mess.
I need to have the proper authority.
Well, I said once you get your turn, of course.
Yeah.
This will be our last round, so Vince better swallow.
Oh, this is my last thing.
Yep.
Okay. I get one more after this, right?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna spit, and I'm spitting this with the question mark if it happens. Monet being all elite, Mercedes Monet obviously heavily rumored to be going to AEW. She did not show up at the Royal Rumble, so that's one pit stop she could have showed up. Obviously, Trinity Naomi did show up. The reason why I'm spitting it, and it's because I don't trust Tony Khan. I don't trust AEW booking with the women's division, with the exception of a few outliers here and there. Like, look at Britt Baker. What the fuck are they doing with Britt Baker right now? And she was their top star. I wouldn't be surprised if 6 months from now, Timeless Toni Storm is no longer being showcased and Tony Khan's bored with her and she's going to toss her to the side and then focus on someone else. Mercedes Monet, could she help the division? Sure. But AEW, at least for me as a consumer of wrestling in general, you've had wrestlers show up there and just kind of feel like guys. Like it's the biggest example being Edge showing up and just being Adam Copeland, and he's just kind of feeling like a white dude from Canada with blonde hair that shows up and wrestles in jeans sometimes. He doesn't really feel like the radar superstar Edge anymore, and I don't know. I'm just very protective, very cautious of what they're gonna do with Sasha, with Mercedes. I don't want to see her in All Elite, but that's kind of where I'm spitting it. I don't think it's going to work out in the long run, and I'd rather just not see it happen. Let her keep wrestling Stardom and elsewhere, but don't join.
Ivan has a question for you.
Yeah, hold on, Vince. Let me ask you this: what are they going to do with Deonna Purrazzo after she loses to Purrazzo? What loses to Tony? Then what? That's a good question. What are they going to do with Deonna Purrazzo? They're probably they're going to toss her to the side. They did that with Thunder Rosa. Like, toss her to the side. Like, that's what they do. They have one favorite that they fucking milk until Tony Khan is done with them. And I'm like, okay, I'm bored with you now. It's the Andy from Toy Story meme where he drops Woody. Like, I don't want to play with you anymore. That's who Tony Khan is with the women's division.
Counter argument to that, it was Mercedes. It was her choice. This is the choice that she made. For whatever reason, this is the choice that she made, and I think a lot of it has to do with I don't necessarily know it was that. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that she wants to be Mercedes Moné, that she is building a brand. She is doing this, and WWE is not going to let her do that. They're going to want her to be Sasha Banks. That's who their fans know her as. That's who they want her to be. So if this is the place that, well, it doesn't matter what you want or what WWE wants, and all that matters is what she wants, because it is her life, her character, her story. So like, this was her choice. She, I guarantee you, more than us, is well aware of the booking decisions for the women going on over there. I don't know what Tony promised her, the kind of money, but in the end, this was her decision. I'm not going to spit her making her decision. I will give Tony Khan, Koki Khan, a slight bit of credit because this was pending the debuts that people are talking about, either one or both. Because the coin drop thing, that's for Okada, right? That's his thing. So that would coins drop, money drops, make it rain. That all makes sense for big business, as well as Monet. Rainmakers make it rain. Yes, make it rain is money. Anyway, it was actually kind of a major announcement because we're all expecting that. If he does not deliver on that again, then it'll be not only funny, but a huge fucking flop and a giant spit.
I'll swallow that. I'll swallow that. If there's no Mercedes Moné, there's no Kazuchika Okada, I will fucking swallow Tony Khan making a major announcement just to get people thinking it's going to happen, and then it doesn't happen. Like I said, I don't necessarily in spitting her making the decision. I'm just spitting that's going to be an outcome that I'm not happy with. Whatever, that's what she wants to do. Like, I might be able to see her more often. I might tune in just for those segments alone and only those, and we'll see what happens. Maybe she can help elevate that division and help Tony Khan care more about women's wrestling as a whole more. So that would be a positive. I will say this: if she goes back to WWE, I don't see anything interesting that she could really do that she hasn't already done. She's accomplished almost everything in WWE. She could retire right now and be in the Hall of Fame.
But she doesn't want to. And
she doesn't want to. So that's why, like, I go to TNA, go to the NWA.
She doesn't want to. She does not want to. She wants.
Nobody wants to go to the NWA, especially as a women's wrestler. Camille's still looking for a fucking job. She couldn't get out of there fast enough.
Camille said, "Fuck them."
They've done no favors for the Burke. Also, Ospreay's not a debut because I've seen him on AEW television a million times.
I do have 2 cents to throw in on the Monet stuff too. WWE, Sean Ross put on Fightful that WWE, his source told him, they said, we're not in the business of contract tampering, so you won't have a Sasha Banks return at the Rumble. Meaning, if WWE said they're not in the business of contract tampering, that means somebody else has her locked in for at least a series of dates that included the Royal Rumble and beyond. So she's debuting somewhere. We just don't know where.
March
it's not going to be
13th.
WWE, though. We know it's not WWE right now.
GCW.
Now.
And Bakley's been defending Tony Khan's booking of women in the chat, which, while still suspect because we get one match a show. Well, on the main show, on Dynamite, the one that everyone actually watches and gives a fuck about. One match. He has been booking more women's matches and in higher profile spots, like the Toni Deonna stuff. Again, Rampage, nobody fucking watches it. I tuned in. That's where we're getting the stuff that I care about with Sky Blue and all that. More stuff on Collision. So there is hope for the women's division that he might actually put some effort into it. Mercedes comes. We'll see. Will, spit or swallow?
My last spit for the night, and I'm bringing it back after almost a year. It's Anime DX. I've decided I'm going to, anytime the Young Bucks make a heel turn and they're being dastardly heels, I'm going to call them Anime DX. This time specifically, the Spy versus Spy, Bizarro, Matt and Nick with the South Park goatees, like Math and Nickelback. Math and
Yeah.
Nickelback, you know, Dearman or whatever their names are.
They're God-given
Dearman.
names. Math
Yeah.
and Nickelback.
If they were in WWE, they would be Math and Nickelback Dearman. But I don't like this version, and then especially getting the tag titles on Darby and Sting just so we can see it happening at Revolution. Like, it makes my stomach sour that Math and Nickelback Dearman are going to be 3-time AEW Tag Team Champions.
Side swallow for me. I have always been a fan of seeing wrestlers who have given everything, whether it's a family or a specific wrestler, to this business finally get their flowers. I know it wasn't something Sting really wanted, but seeing him hold a championship in AEW, so he's now, except for WWE, who disrespected the fuck out of him, held a championship in every company that he has worked in. Shout out to them for that. I'm not a huge fan of that tag team, but I am happy to see Sting do his thing and win a tag team title there.
Also, Sting's one son? Smash. I don't know
Katie?
I don't know their names, but the one that was on the left, him.
Smash.
Smash.
Katie, spit or swallow.
Oh man. I think I gotta make my good one here. I'm swallowing Jey Uso in Big Goon. I'm so excited for this shit. Now, personally, I would have loved if we got, like, you know, the New Day got, like, beat up 3-on-1, and, you know, Uso, shout out, made the save. Would have, you know, deep down would have loved Big E, but it's fine. Once Big E's okay, I need him to come back. But I love the idea of Uso and Goon. Yeah, Jimmy's gonna screw Jay. It's what they do. They're brothers. They're gonna piss each other off, and then we're gonna get
Brothers
a match.
screw brothers all the time.
No,
in the
that's not
South.
what I said.
That's going to fuck up some algorithms, bro.
Or is it?
Stop.
I feel like
It's not what
our
I said.
audience. I feel like that audience, that idea, and men wrestling around in their underwear are two things that, you know, might.
Regardless, back to my main point. Goon, 600 plus days IC champion, as he should be. Shout out to Gunther. Jey Uso, who has had a tremendous year. He had a lot of highs, very, very, very many lows. I wouldn't necessarily be mad if Jay was the one to dethrone Big Goon. Definitely should have been Chad Gable, but that's besides the fucking point. This match is going to be good. That's all I need. I'm excited. I'm invested because the New Day's got Jay's back. They're homies. And again, I can't have Big E. So, like, I'll take Jay as the third man in the New Day.
Okay. Vince, your mic is muted.
Oh, sorry. I'm glad Katie mentioned the Big Gunther and Jey Uso segment because that was one of the best things on Raw. Jey Uso is going to take that title off of Big Gunther. He's going to be the one.
Side shout out to our boy Adam Cole and that whole Undisputed Kingdom thing for fucking up Chuck Taylor for not wearing Chuck Taylors. I feel like that was the reason behind it, and love them for that. Teach that man a lesson. Also, Roxanne Lola Vice had a great match on NXT. Tatum Paxley shows up. She's carrying the breakout tournament contract because she's fucking crazy. Love that. And we're getting Jada versus Rizzo next week. Jada asked for it. We're getting it. Katie. Oh, and big swallow R-Truth because fucking R-Truth. Like, he just decided he's still in the Judgment Day, and they just said, fuck it. Whatever.
And then he showed up on SmackDown and was talking to Kevin Owens, thinking he's The Miz, and then talking about Nick Aldis. And Kevin Owens like, oh, you mean Nick Mysterio? No, Nick Aldis. R-Truth is the best thing in wrestling, point blank, period. And I want nothing but good things for that man in his everyday life.
Katie, what was your favorite show you watched this week?
I don't fucking know. Let's go. Let's go SmackDown, I guess. Sure.
Will?
TNA Impact Thursday night, 2 weeks in a row.
You didn't even swallow anything from the show.
It was. See, this is the thing right now, and this is the issue I have. The same thing with NWA is with them being pre-tapes. You almost always find out about spoilers ahead of time. So I knew a lot of the results before the episode came out. They're banger matches. I could just say swallow TNA. It's the arguably the most consistent 90 minutes in wrestling outside of NXT.
Also, isn't Trinity like still on their show?
Yeah, dude, she was there on Thursday night. She wrestled. She was on WWE TV and on TNA Impact TV on the same week. So shout out fucking like Rick Rude. Like that's who Naomi is now. Like live TV and pre-tape TV in the same week.
Shout out.
That's dope. I'm also gonna go SmackDown solely based on Triple H making my dreams come true. Best for business, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not talking about corporate WWE. What's gonna sell? WrestleMania is fucking sold out. You're not selling fucking tickets. All right, it's gonna be sold out regardless. You could have no fucking matches announced, and WrestleMania is going to sell the fuck.
They sold it out without any matches being announced.
Exactly my
I bought a ticket before matches were sold.
Vince said SmackDown's best show. Matt says SmackDown's best show. Katie says SmackDown's best show. Will says the show that he did not talk about one single bit tonight is the best show, TNA Impact. Will, since you're here, please tell everyone where they can find you.
First and foremost, as always, Mateo, thank you for the invite. I love being the honorary use of all things creation world. If you're interested in my shenanigans elsewhere, check my link tree at the Will Gray. You'll find everything that I do for Rivet City Radio, Botch Bots, and Chair Shots off the top media and my writing profile for Last Word on Sports.
Katie?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter, KatieRasson13, link to my about to take all things Chili Showcase, twitch.tv/Chili Showcase, and youtube.com/Chili Showcase, typically Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern-ish. To my knowledge, we have our guest this week, unless he cancels on me again, so we'll fucking find out. Patreon.com/Chili Showcase. I do want to start doing more stuff on there, but I've been sick for like 3 weeks, so I want to wait until I'm a little better. And I've heard back from a few people about some Inside the Mind of stuff that I'm going to do next month. Things are cooking over here. Better than The Rock and Roman's been cooking for 2 years.
Like crack in the kitchen.
No. No.
Okay. You guys can follow Vince since he had to take a call at SES Vince on all socials. Also, go check out the Get Show podcast. Vince is a host over on the Get Show podcast. Him and Just have a great show over there. They recently just had JTG from Marks with Mikes and Tiffany from Down for the Count. So go check out their latest episode. Shout out to them. Vince, don't even come. Vince, I'm plugging your shit. Don't even bother coming back. Fuck. Go ahead.
No, continue to plug me.
Ew.
On all social medias at SES Vince. I'm sure he's saying he's going to try and do something about basketball with his friend, but it's not going to happen because he doesn't really have that podcast anymore.
I did release content on my YouTube, youtube.com/SES Vince. Go ahead and turn on the bell notifications, subscribe over there, and comment down below. Tell me everything.
Most importantly, you can follow me at Matt Rose, at MATTRIDDER, for your wrestling content, at Getting Off for your horror content. That's on Twitter. Everywhere else on Smackin It Raw. If you want to see more of these, just follow Creation World everywhere. CreationWorld.com. Get you links to all of our shit. As the chat has told you, I am a sexy beast. You should want to see as much of me as possible, clothed and otherwise. So go follow all of our socials and mine. For the host of the She-Lead Showcase, the host of Botch Spots and Chair Shots, and the co-host of the Get Show podcast, I am the host of Smackin It Raw, the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden Matt Ritter. And this has been your #1 wrestling podcast on places where you can find people having sex on the internet. Shout out to Vince.
You
What's
missed your
up?
chance, Vince.
You doing your job this week. You didn't forget to run the outro. You handled business this week, and I'm very proud of you.
I did the countdown with the intro.
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
Like I said, this has been like the first Saturday in like the longest time where I just like the first like day of recording an episode where I felt like I was just kind of like decompressing from the day. I was just relaxing. I had everything ready to go. I didn't have to rush to do anything. I wasn't busy doing anything. So I felt like you kind of got like the best version of Vince that you possibly could get. Like you probably would have gotten a better version if like my fiance wasn't calling me to open the door because she didn't have the keys. Because she was afraid that Huey had peed in his cage because she went to have a Galentine's Day.
Valentine's?
No, like a Galentine's Day thing with her sisters, with all like just the girls, and they wanted to take Huey, so she did, and I think he had to use the bathroom, and she was afraid that he had peed in his cage, and she's like, "I don't have the keys. Can you please open up?" I'm like, "Okay, cool. Just call me when you're here." And then literally like
Dewey and Louie.
Say what?
What'd she do with Dewey and Louie?
Huey.
Dead.
No, she just took him just so he can hang out with them because they asked for him, and she dropped them off. I opened the door for her. I waited for her. Hugh went upstairs. Maxie almost ran outside. She had no leash, so it was the whole thing.
Hugh Jackman?
The basement.
Say what?
Hugh Jackman?
No, not you. I'm talking
Love Hugh Jackman.
Wolverine.
He's gonna save the MCU out here. Oh, thanks, Bakley. I appreciate it. It's not even fully
got a DuckTales reference.
It's not even fully fleshed out. This is kind of what it almost felt like when I was like first starting with Smackin It Raw, when I was back on the other generic brand version of Smackin It Raw. I kind of had like the bunch of Funkos in the background, maybe some posters here with my NXT chairs, and that's kind of what I try to replicate this time around. But this isn't going to be what the setup is. It's just this is what I got to work with at the moment. But it came out nice, and I'm glad people liked it.
William, I love you. I did not expect you to be like, "Oh, Matt missed me so much. I'm just going to come in and cause complete and total havoc on his show." But I appreciate it because listen, I am clipping the Harry Potter section. That is going on TikTok. That one. I almost said Twitch twice. What were our options for titles? Because I know one was bisexual Undertaker, but I'm going to change that to bisexual Attitude Era as a possible title. I don't know if Vince could fit that in.
Bisexual Attitude Era. That works. It's like I said, it's not the length of it, it's like the length of each specific word.
That's
so
what
I have
said.
Yeah.
It's Wet Ink with a C. DM Hunk, which Vince is all gung ho for. Bisexual Attitude Era. I crossed off Undertaker. And then the Goddess of Dat Gawk. Yeah, Will, I think, missed that part.
You missed that part.
It was literally the first 3 minutes of the stream.
2 minutes of the episode.
Shout out to Amani.
Yeah.
Katie's got
so
many nicknames
with these titles. I don't think there's a wrong answer.
So I think we focused the most. Of course, she's still there. Listen, this is the one of the few times a week that she gets to experience the white version of her man at home and see what it's like on the other side. So she indulges it as much as she can, and I appreciate her. Also, I didn't realize she had been watching, and then I fucked up and I called her the wrong name. So now she's making her presence known. So I never make that mistake again, and I appreciate that because we love Amani. I did. Listen, it was a whole thing. We're good.
Yeah. He was having a rough day.
It was a rough fucking week. So Katie, I need you to Send me all of those. I think the most the chat talked about, and the most we talked about was probably the bisexual attitude era shit. Katie was all hyped about the bisexual era because it's her era. I think we're gonna go bisexual attitude era as the title, Vince.
So, like, do you want me to send you these titles?
Yeah, what's the point?
For the tweet?
You made up your mind already. What's the point?
For the tweet.
Make sure Goddess of that Gawk is in there because
I know. I'm just gonna text you. Leave me alone. I know how to do my job.
well, yeah.
Listen,
Bisexual attitude
I've
era.
done a lot of jobs this week. I helped you get the picture for the stream.
Well, yes and no. So Vince sent me 3 options. One of them was just the picture of Jade, and I liked that one. And I liked the picture you sent me, and I forgot that I had to set up the stream until you text me. So your job was reminding me to do my job that I forgot I had to do. And since you sent me the picture and you reminded me, even though Vince had sent it to me earlier in the week and said, "Here you go, pick what you like," and I was so busy I blanked on it. I added your picture because you gave me that. You flicked that bean, you hit that notification bell, gave me a reminder.
So if I'm not mistaken, it was Jade. The picture of Jade with her cleavage looking back at someone was always going to be a part of it. I made one with Selena Vega in like a Sailor Moon cosplay, and I can't remember what the second one was for the life of me. I'll double check because I sent it to you, right? But then I also made a plain blank one in case you didn't like either of the pictures. I'm like, here's a template that you could use that just has the Jade, which you used. Oh, I remember. It was Ref Bay. I forget her name. Yeah. So it was Ref Bay, looking back at Ref Bay and looking back at Selena Vega, and then one without looking at anyone, and then you ended up going with Mariah May.
Why did you text that to me?
So when I go into the text message thread and I pull it up, I don't forget that one.
Why do we have to talk about that one?
Melissa does that all the time.
I cannot guarantee you that when that match happens on Raw and Jimmy Uso does exactly what we talked about, the title of that episode won't be Brothers Screwing Brothers Raw.
Now, you're going a little too far here, my guy.
Brothers Screw Brothers Raw. Not screw. Yeah. Brothers Screw Brothers Raw.
Things taken out of context. Part 8,000 on this goddamn show.
And if we can get it in quotations at the bottom, especially in the South.
No. No. No.
All right, so we've confirmed that Damian Priest is bisexual Undertaker. Pretty Deadly is bisexual DX.
Even though I still think there's gay DX, but that's just me.
Trinity is bisexual. Trinity is bisexual Rick Rude.
I said Rhea bisexual China.
The Acclaimed is bisexual Heart Foundation.
The Acclaimed is bisexual Heart Foundation. Okay.
I like that one.
Okay.
That works because half of that tag team is gay. I like it.
And none of that tag team is Canadian. So, like,
it's perfect.
Science.
That's just math. Math and Nickelback, to be exact.
Nickelback, Dearman.
I'm going to talk about it, but no one's going to see it for like another week and a half, and they're probably going to forget about this. You know what's really fucking bothering me right now?
What?
1998 WCW. Bret Hart is in the NWO right now. He doesn't wear an NWO shirt. He wears a Hulk Hogan shirt, but he's working with them. He's in all the shit.
Ew.
Jim Neidhart, the second most important Neidhart in that family, and British Bulldog are all in WCW. When they showed up to have Bret's back. However, Bret pretty much ignored the fact that his own brother-in-laws were in the company going out of their way to do things to help him out. And then he joined the NWO and just like left them to the side as if he had no knowledge of them being in the company whatsoever. And it's driving me insane that Jim Neidhart and the British Bulldog exist in WCW with Bret Hart and they have no interactions whatsoever.
Just wait, because it gets way worse.
I know it does. I know it does.
I could say that would be frustrating.
Oh,
That's fair.
also, Matt knows basketball.
You have anything
That
about
was
Harry
my
Potter?
favorite part of between that and the Harry Potter content. Favorite part of
With
the
the
episode.
question mark. I love it. Remember,
Do we still have a chat with the four of us in it?
I don't know.
Listen, here's the thing. If there is an inactive chat that I am a part of that has been inactive for more than 2 weeks, I leave the chat. So I can guarantee you there's not.
I did that.
I don't like cluttered DMs with chats that are not active. I
need to
hate
go through
scrolling
really
through to
well,
find
man.
people and shit. I leave chats all the fucking time. If no one's in them,
Me
I'm not
too.
about it.
I found a bunch of chats that was like me and Matt and Katie and Jess, and it would be like when I would open it up, it would be like this person left, this person left, this person left,
It's
this
just
person
you.
left, and I'd be like, leave. And then I'd find another one. It'd be the exact same group of people minus one person.
Oh my god, it's so many. I guarantee
you
I
go
still
back,
have
like-
fucking smacked raw chats in there.
You go back 5 years, it's like 50 people in the chat, and now it's dwindled down to like the 4 of us.
There's 2 chats between Matt, Kitty, and I that I found.
For what fucking reason?
However, Vince, if you look, I probably left one of those.
No, you didn't. You're in both of them still. I just checked. The most recent one is technically our Smackin It Raw one, where I'd send the thumbnails. The most recent, and double check the episode titles, but the other one goes back to October of 2023, where I think it was just sending. It was just sending pictures of Lola Vice. Because you guys, like, I don't know what her gear looked like before she was wearing like the full on like body thing or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I found it. I'm leaving that one. Hey.
I was gonna say, Vince, what are you talking
I
about?
need to leave first.
I'm not in that chat.
I need to leave it first. Damn it. Yeah, I
The
need
oldest
to,
chat
I
that
need to go through
the
and
oldest chat that I have is from March 9th, 2020, and it is from CJ Perry.
Of course. It is.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
So CJ Perry did a movie with Bruce Willis way back when, and I tweeted out something sarcastically about CJ Perry being in a movie with Bruce Willis, and she actually DM'd me like the actual CJ Perry account, verified and everything, and it said, "It's because I'm so good at what I do that everyone hates me because I choose to be the best villain. That's how great of an actress I am, that when I'm gone doing Bruce Willis film, the WWE universe is sad and can't get enough of me."
Wow.
Actually DM me that in response to my tweet, to which I responded, "I understand that. As a fan of WWE, I like to play along with the character you portray and treat you as the villain. I would be more than happy to work something out and have you on our show to talk about the movie or wrestling or anything really," and never heard from her again.
Why do I have all of these? This is irritating me.
What?
All these fucking chats, bro.
You didn't realize it until it was brought up, and now it's.
No, it's the same thing with like my texts. Like I know, but like,
Katie, so I see you like this picture of Xia Li on Instagram. Who that though?
oh, I don't know. Let me look. Listen, I just like stuff. Give me a second. If I could spell her name right, that'd be great. Come on.
Also, I didn't know Xia Li had a whole ass white family.
Oh yeah, she's got a whole ass white family. Surprise.
Surprise.
Fuck, I feel like I've seen her before, but I don't know what her name is.
When you find that out, shoot me a message and let me know.
You're terrible. There, well.
You guys talk amongst yourself, preferably about Hogwarts wrestling promotions. I will be back from my post-show.
Post-show.
Post show.
Show potty.
Oh, wait, I think I found who it was already. He left.
He left the room. He left the room, and you get the answer, and that's hilarious.
Oh yeah, I figured out who it was already. I just had to scroll a little bit. I'm so good at my job. Yeah, so Hogwarts.
I've never actually got Hogwarts Legacy, and I'm contemplating whether or not I should even get it at this point.
Well, what's going on, bud?
I was checking some stuff, and I get an email at midnight when Chartable updates their ranks. We moved up 44 spots. We're currently the 88th ranked podcast in the U.S. right now.
Nice.
Pop off third.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm pretty happy about that. I just got the notification for it. I just looked.
Well, you look like a little kid at candy store, so like.
I was like, I like it. I like low numbers when I get those emails. That's a good sign. I was thinking of something with the Chamber of Secrets, but I feel like there's already been a Chamber of Horrors match, right?
Elimination Chamber of Secrets?
Yeah.
The Elimination Chamber of Secrets? Okay.
Let's write these down. I like
I'm not writing these down. You guys can write these down.
The Diagon Alley Street Fight.
Elimination Chamber of Secrets sounds like what Vince was pitching.
Yes. We're talking about Chambers of Secrets. I'm like, Elimination Chambers?
I was waiting for you to say. I can hear you. I'm walking out of the room like, she knows I can hear. Why the fuck doesn't she just say the name?
No,
say the name. Even though I'm not around you, I can still hear you.
Oh my god. It's Zeta Zhang.
Zeta Zhang.
I know who that is. I've heard that.
Filipino. She did the intro
Athlete,
for
pro wrestler, former MMA fighter, and BJJ competitor.
Where was Just when I needed him? He would have told me right away.
Wow.
I just had to scroll a little bit. I'm good at my job.
Wow, what? As you said, she did the intro for Get Your Podcast.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm wowing something else.
Also, Vince.
Oh.
Yes. Zeta Chinese. I thought she was Filipino, and that's why you got her to do the intro.
You just assume because that
not all Asian people are the same.
No, I assumed she was
Stop
Filipino.
the Asian hate.
I assumed she was Filipino because Justin got all Filipino wrestlers to do the intro. So I assumed that was the theme. If not, I was mistaken. I apologize. STC and Reek from Young Kings Wrestling say, players fuck up. My bad. That one's on me. Shout out to our truth being back in Judgment Day, though, the reinitiation.
So we've got the Diagon Alley Street Fight, the Elimination Chamber of Secrets, an Avada Kedavra match, which is just a death match.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said like a Quidditch rules match somewhere.
Begley said Quidditch rules match.
Quidditch rules match. Wouldn't that just be like a stadium stampede?
Or possibly like the Heritage Cup British Rounds match.
I need something with Wizards chess. I don't know
the
what.
Goblet. Wait, so the what is it that Noam Dar has again, Matt? You just mentioned
the Heritage Cup.
The Heritage Cup.
The Quidditch World Cup.
Goblet of Fire.
The Goblet of Fire. That's what I was gonna say. It's like that's the Goblet of Fire.
I was gonna say the Goblet of Fire would be Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And then you pick up the briefcase, you get transported to a graveyard, and you die.
See, no, you pick up the briefcase, you pick up the goblet, you get transported into the main event of WrestleMania where you cash in for a title shot against the NXT champion.
That's more of the Royal Rumble, I feel like.
Funnier.
Goblet of Fire is more of a Royal Rumble.
I would say for a lumberjack match, it would be the House Elves.
Wow.
Like it would be two wizards with a bunch of house elves around the ring. Like if you get thrown out of the ring, the house elves fuck you up and throw you back in the ring. but they're real polite about it and steal your socks.
Jesus. Like, I'm kind of okay with that. It's kind of funny. It's fucked up, but it's kind of funny.
No, just imagine a group of house elves around the ring, right?
I'm
Match
imagining.
going on, and it's kind of like a tuxedo rules match where you have to strip your opponent, and the house elves are there in hopes that one of the competitors gives them a piece of clothing, because all of the house elves will be indebted to, we'll say, the two competitors, so that they are free.
So, I mean, okay.
I'm a free
All
elf.
right.
I'm a free elf. I would say the Death Eaters is an obvious faction.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other way around it. That's a cult, actually, but that's a different conversation.
It's somewhere between Judgment Day and the Blackpool Combat Club.
Yes.
House of Black.
Yeah. I feel like a Horcrux would be a great name for a finish.
No, Horcrux is Matt Riddle.
Yeah, because Drew vanquished him with the Sword of Gryffindor.
Sword of Gryffindor.
True. Okay.
Wow. I love when things come full circle. They're definitely.
Sorry, Katie.
I will smack you.
Post show now? I don't know.
I don't know.
Justin said God Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. I feel like there's so much you could do with, like.
I would say the Golden Snitch would be more like the Money in the Bank, because when you catch it in a game, you automatically win. So catching the Golden Snitch would be like the automatic like chance to go for the title. I'm a fucking nerd. God damn
Hold on.
it.
You want to be a nerd? Golden Snitch is Ultimate X.
Yeah.
You have to be in the sky to get it, and once you get it, you win.
Ultimate X is the Quidditch rules match. That's the connection, yeah. Because you're going to have to be in the air to win it, yeah.
I'm going to say goodnight, guys. Will, I love you. Katie, Matt, I love being on the show. This was fun. My fiance just showed up with chicken nuggets from McDonald's, so I'm going to go eat chicken nuggets and watch TV.
I had chicken tenders.
I don't know how late Tim is, because my arms got put away when I came back from my bathroom break.
I don't know. Bye.
Oh, an Azkaban prison match instead of a Punjabi prison match. There we go.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm so hungry. Oh wait, I have snacks.
A Patronus would be a finisher.
A Patronus would definitely be a finisher.
That is true.
The invisibility cloak would be a finisher. It'd be a submission move.
Yeah.
Marauder's Map would be a pay-per-view name.
I realized these are very loud, so I decided to mute myself while I chewed.
They got real quiet for a second.
Well, so I agree. Marauder's Map is a good pay-per-view. Dumbledore's Army is obviously, Tim's way back.
Yeah.
Obviously another faction against the Death Eaters. You know, there are two main factions: Dumbledore's Army and the Death Eaters.
Order of the Phoenix would be a promo. Order of the Phoenix is a pay-per-view.
Order of the Phoenix is the new pipe bomb.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or it could also be a faction. It could be like a side faction.
The Ministry of Magic, the Ministry of Darkness.
It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
If you think about it real hard. God. I just love Harry Potter.
Dumbledore would be like the less creepy Mr. McMahon.
Well, no. So the first version of Albus Dumbledore in the first two movies, that's Vince McMahon, and then the other
That's fucking
more. Listen, I'm just saying. There was a changing of the guard.
to be
Triple H is
fair.
the new one.
If anyone is Vince McMahon, based on not specifically those allegations, but just allegations and handling them terribly in general, it is J.K. Rowling,
J.K. Rowling, yeah.
the creator of the world.
Yeah.
The creator of the world. Yeah.
That we
No,
all
she
love, who turned out to
fucking
be
sucks.
a really shitty person.
Oh, she's probably one of the worst just human beings on the face of the earth. It's
Let's
actually
be
sick.
honest. She wrote the end of the series on a beverage napkin.
Honestly, kind of iconic because it's a hell of a series.
Let's be honest. She ripped off Star Wars and made a shit ton of money on it.
Yeah, because it's the hero's journey.
Yeah.
Almost every franchise is the hero's journey, i.e., Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, to be precise.
But is the hero's journey always an orphan guy who goes to live with his aunt and uncle and then meets a magical wizard-like character to train him in the art of...
No, but all three of those things are. All three of those franchises. The hero's journey is basically just like hero, sadness, climax, good things happen.
But using that same logic, the second Top Gun is just a Star Wars movie.
Fair.
Everything
Also,
is Star Wars.
sometimes sadness comes after climax, not always before.
It usually almost always after.
The Half-Blood Prince is the GM. I didn't even get to talk about how Adam Pearce is a terrible fucking GM. I had that as a spit. The way he's handling Nia and Rhea.
He's losing now that Nick Aldis is here. He's losing his edge as that dominant GM because it was easy for him when it was him and all the other people that were trying to be other GMs with him. He was always the dominant one. But now that Aldis is here, like Aldis has put him in his place.
Except for Sonya. Sonya dominated him.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. As you should. Because Adam Pearce, sub. Nick Aldis.
Again, I hope Tim gets this far into the episode and realizes that wherever he stopped watching is where he picked back up and how late he is.
Yeah, like she did get married. Talked about it. She looked absolutely beautiful.
That was in news and rumors.
Maybe Bakley accidentally started the episode over, and he's still chatting, thinking that he he didn't realize he hit the button, and he automatically jumped back to news and rumors, and he won't realize it till we start spitting and swallowing, and he's be like, "Son of a bitch."
Yeah, he came halfway through.
I do that sometimes.
I hate you.
Or I come halfway through.
Yeah.
You hurt my mouth.
I feel like we're all just waiting patiently for Tim's next message to come through.
I'm just putting my candy away.
I was going to ask Katie how she enjoyed my Shane Diesel Drake reference because I know she didn't. It was timing that you had the issue with the Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen stuff. And I did my best. So, I tried to respectfully interject. And then when they tried to completely take it away from you, and I brought it back to you to give you the time that you deserve because I was trying to be respectful. Groundhogging, maybe. I'm pretty sure prairie dogging is when you've got a shit that's
pooping.
That's what I thought it was.
Turtlenecking?
I thought turtlenecking was when you are uncircumcised. Anyway.
What the fuck?
I don't have to worry about that.
So if everything goes well, because I got packing tape, I should find out because, like, with DNA, like I may have less percentages of certain things and more based on my father and my mother and this and that, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I'll find out how much, if any, Jew I actually have in me because I took the DNA test. I just have to mail it out. I've also been working on my family tree and going
Nice.
through and finding out a lot of shit.
Always a time.
Yeah.
And I feel more connected to Tony D'Angelo now than ever. Because as I follow the branch to my mom and then my mom's mom and her family, very shortly after my grandmother is a short trip across the pond from Palermo to the U.S. And for those of you unfamiliar, my mom went to Italy recently and requested to go to Palermo because that's where our family's from. And the tour guide told her, no, you don't want to go there. That's where all the mob is.
I fucking knew. Matt's in the mob. We
Matt's
do
not
it.
I can't be in the mob because I'm not pure. I still got a lot of
You're
Dutch in me.
associated.
However, I may have ancestors that were either fleeing from or a part of.
That's absolutely amazing.
Also,
That's so
I got really fucked up. So growing up,
okay.
my family, so I found out that my grandmother's father
Okay.
had a cousin, and they were both named Jacob Biamonte. One went by Jack, one went by Jacob.
Okay.
Those brothers married two sisters, or those cousins married two sisters.
Okay.
Their children, I was under the impression we're all brothers and sisters, but because the family was so close, they grew up like that. So I had been calling my Uncle Phil, even though he'd be like my great Uncle Phil, and my Uncle Jake, even though he's like my great Uncle Jake. And till I was 36, almost 37 years old, I thought that was my grandmother's brothers. Come to find out it was her cousins, and I had no fucking clue. However, way back when they came over from Palermo and they married these sisters whose family also came from Italy, they opened up a restaurant called the Silver Tavern, I believe Silver Tavern, which became Biamonte's restaurant, which then my grandmother, her sister, and one of their sons took over and ran. And then when my grandfather retired from the railroad, he came in and cooked that, and I grew up in. So there's all of that fun shit. But I'm sitting there and I'm looking at shit and I'm telling Kate, I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense because that's supposed to be my grandmother's brothers. And so my mom showed up the next day. I'm like, were Uncle Jake and Uncle Phil actually grandma's brothers? She goes, no, they were her cousins. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how did I not know this? And then she kind of explained.
I love that shit. That's like my favorite thing to like figure out like family histories and stuff. So like my sister and I both took DNA tests a while ago, a few years ago, because we have different dads. So I was curious what we had similar, like that we got from our mom. A lot of it's the same. I have a few different things than her, which isn't necessarily surprising. But it is so cool to like see the breakdowns of stuff and just learn all the information. I love it so much. It's my favorite thing to do.
I refuse to do it.
Fair.
I won't do one. No, it's a huge database. Both the DNA companies, 23andMe and my DNA or whatever, and the one that's attached to Ancestry.com, they have both been linked to selling that information to third-party sources, including insurance companies and all kinds of shit. It's a scam.
Probably. However, there was one question when I was setting it up, and it said something along the lines of, do you consent us to store your DNA? And I said no. And Kate said why? And I said, in the off chance that I commit a crime, I don't want them to just have access to my DNA at some point somewhere that they can just go get a warrant for and grab and test and prove that I'm fucking guilty. I don't want my DNA just sitting around in storage ready to incriminate me should I end up doing some fuck shit later in life.
Yeah.
All right. And she goes, well, what if your DNA could link to capturing like a murderer or this or that or blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I also might be like, here's the thing. Yeah, that could be a thing, but more than likely they're going to use it to prove me guilty than they are going to use it to tie me to someone else and prove that that person's related to me and then they committed the crime. Like they're just going to use it to commit that I'm the guilty one. And self motherfucking preservation, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I don't plan on committing a crime, but should I have to in the future, my DNA cannot just be sitting in storage ready to go for them to be like, oh, yeah, nope, we got you.
Mine's in storage. I did what
You
is
don't
it, the
need storage,
medical
do you?
hold on, what's it called? The medical studies or whatever. When I was going through chemo and shit. Because of my blood type mixed with my type of cancer specifically, when they would do my biopsies, every time, all 5 of my bone marrow biopsies, I would sign off for this medical study where they would take like an extra third of an ounce or an extra third of a gram or something out of my bone marrow. So that way they could donate it to science. And every time they would ask, I would tell them, whatever you need, take whatever you want. And they would always look so like put off by it. But I was like, yeah, donate everything to science. So yeah, I'm on the list.
I mean, that is different, right? They're not just like storing your DNA for shits and giggles. Your DNA is actually being used to help work on cures for and investigate and discover things more about cancer.
You want to know something that's creepy that I figured out while I was in the medical field? Not in the medical field, but a part of like the treatment process. You know why HIPAA violations are so serious? Because every single person, you and Katie and me and everybody who's ever had any type of medical procedure done in the United States, all of that is centralized. So that way the doctors can communicate with charts and shit. So if somebody were to give your information, everybody in the network would know that. So if like you start giving people information off of that network, it could be everywhere. You see what I mean?
Huh.
Like that's why they
Yeah.
take it so seriously. It's wild. It's scary.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if somebody were to hack that, that's the system to hack.
I forgot we even talked about this beginning of the show, but Katie, how did I do explaining the woman's reproductive system and hysterectomies?
I mean, I feel like that was a good way to explain it to like a dude.
I
It's-
mansplained women's
You
reproductive parts.
mansplained women's reproductive organs and things
To men.
to men. Let's clarify. I mean, I feel like you explained it fine. I mean, it painted a brutal fucking picture because that's what it is. Like my aunt had a whole, like a total hysterectomy, like everything's gone, like years ago. It's crazy. Like the shit that one thing goes wrong, you're fucked. They can take everything out. It's scary.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you go get checked every year. Yeah. I got a few months. Well, I have to. It's every year, and like they don't let me go early, so I have to wait.
It's like an oil change. You have to have your 36,000 miles before you can come in.
Yeah. No. It's just every May I go.
What's up, Brocast?
What up?
Morning. No, it's the middle of the afternoon for Tom.
Yeah. It's about 2, which again, Tom, while you're here listening, like 3 years now, still waiting for that DM for when you're free on a Saturday.
It's gonna be never.
As a matter of fact, dude, listen, he will DM me, right? Where is it at? It's got to be way down there.
Monty said my sister got one because she had severe migraines and it tied to them somehow, but then it was something else after they did surgery. Yeah, it's also usually how it goes.
Both of my sisters have had to have them, and my mother had one.
It's not a fun time.
All right, how many people we still got in here? We got Bakley, we got Bro. Oh, we still got 6 people in here watching us just bullshit about nothing. So I'm gonna do something fun for you guys. Everyone that's in the chat that's watching, chat participation and co-host participation. Help us choose a thumbnail.
Oh, that's crazy. I just looked at the messages. I didn't really look at them. I kind of just like skimmed.
Option number 1.
He looks like something out of the Matrix.
Option number 2. I like having women on the thumbnail, so this is probably my pick. I also like the next option. Option number 3.
That's a good one.
God fucking damn it.
That might be my favorite, actually.
That's
option
insane.
number 4. Which also,
Ron's so excited about bisexual attitude era. No, I like that one. He's so excited. He's so happy for the bisexual.
And Baron Corbin looks so disappointed.
Baron Corbin's pissed about the bisexuals. Braun's all about it. I like that's
all right. So Katie and Bakley pick 4. Will, where are you sitting? 3 or 4?
I'll go 4. My initial pick was the second one with Bailey. Was that the third one?
The second one.
That was the second one.
Second one. Okay. Second one, 2 or 4 then for me.
Broadcast says 4. Bakley says 4. Amani says 4. Will says 4. Consensus is 4. We have a thumbnail, ladies and gentlemen.
He's so happy about this bisexual attitude era. I love it. You know, Braun does, he seems like he'd be for the gays. I like it.
You guys.
Just saying.
I agree, but I also see like a super aggressive Braun Breaker in support of the gays barking at them.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Rock just put out a goddamn novel.
On
what?
What?
Twitter?
Yeah. Okay, so someone tweeted, crowd in Vegas boos The Rock, demanding he follow through with aid for Maui, and then goes on to tell some things, and the crowd starts booing and chanting, Maui, 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 make it happen. And then Dwayne, how long ago was this? An hour ago. I'm going to try and read the whole thing. I typically refrain from responding to toxic, false clickbait garbage like this because I hate dignifying bullshit with a response. But when you use Hawaii's tragic events to draw attention to yourself, I won't stay quiet. This moment you're referring to is from our WWE press conference this past Thursday, where I turned heel, in quotes, wrestling parlance for bad guy. I'm playing it up with our crowd as they boo. It's what we do in our WWE universe, and we all love every second of it. For the record, our people's fund of Maui has already delivered, all caps, over $50 million to over 8,000 survivors who were affected by the fires, and I'm grateful to the bone that we've been the primary funders. Hawaii is where I grew up, where I raised my children throughout the year, and where my ancestors are buried. These are my Polynesian people, and these are our, all caps, American people. You can't imagine how much they are still struggling daily to put their lives back together and take care of each other. Our Poly-American people are as resilient as people come, and they will raise and get back on their feet. There's more. I gotta breathe. Nick, instead of posting bullshit like this, you know it's false, I encourage you to post something positive for Hawaii, for our Polynesian American people. Or actually take positive action and come to Hawaii to help out in an uplifting way. I'm in Hawaii now, and I guarantee you'll make great content that can actually make a difference in people's lives. Genuinely. Let's put our energy and our online platforms into lifting people up, acknowledging the good things that people do, raising awareness for the suffering in ways that can effectively help. It takes so much effort to be negative and create and spread bullshit, but when you spread positivity, kindness, and lead by example, you can really impact lives. I'm sorry to all of our Poly Hawaiian Ohana of Maui for shining light on this toxicity as you struggle through tough times. And yeah, so a novel.
Right. I mean, I saw the reports that The Rock and Oprah's funds were kind of bullshit.
So the original tweet says Oprah and Dwayne, and tags The Rock, promised tens of millions, all caps, to the victims of the Maui fires, but many victims still have not seen a dime. It took the audience to fully America first, all caps, and is demanding Rock and Oprah follow through with their commitment to take care of the people. And then the crowd started chanting Maui, Maui. I was not expecting to see that as soon as I click on Twitter.
The issue that from what I remember with the fund is people expected Oprah and The Rock to be donating the money, not crowdfunding.
Gotcha. I was just, wow. My chest hurts. That's a lot. I don't think I should have read that much. It's a lot more than I was expecting. And this is why Twitter has, or used to have, limits to what you could post. Because I don't need novels, guys.
But
I don't
once
care
you
if you're
pay
paying
that
$6 or 10 or whatever the fuck you're paying.
$10 and you can write whatever you want.
I would only use it for an edit
Evil.
button, and even then, I don't even care. Evil, hey, not evil. Well, I mean, I am, but like, I hide it. I don't. The obsession with you today is crazy.
Come on,
I
Katie.
have to tap out.
Put it up. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to go too. It's almost 2 a.m.
I was on
Shit
Creation
to
on
do tomorrow.
Friday.
Huh?
I was on Creation on Friday. I just realized that.
Yesterday? Well, 2 days ago now.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, okay, no, you're not on Fridays anymore. Never mind.
Yeah.
That's where my brain was. I was on Creation at noon, and then I was on here from midnight till 2. And then as soon as I said it, and then you started talking, I was like, no, Will, it's Saturday into Sunday, not Friday into Saturday.
You said,
Like this changed like 6 months ago.
It's been quite a minute.
Yeah.
I gotta take it off.
But I'm special, and you guys know that. That's why you keep me around.
That's why I
I love
wanted you
you.
on today.
You did.
Acknowledge me.
Got to
And
keep
I'm
that
glad I
Pornhub
can.
poppy race that Vince refuses to acknowledge interesting.
You know, I'll keep it going. So, I do love you guys. I am tired. I knocked the catering out of the park. I fed 6 people, and I got
Congrats.
2 bookings out of it. That's a 33% click-through rate. I feel like that's pretty good. That's a good win. So,
I'm happy
I
for
love
you.
y'all. I'm sure we'll talk in the next 24 to 36 hours. We always do.
Hell yeah.
It's true.
All right. I'll
All
see
right.
you guys.
Thanks, guys, for joining us. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.